Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. From Genesis to Revelation, in my Father's house there are many mansions. He made natural resources, he made provision to feed this nation. We have Calypso, Choppy and Limb, when the snow, then we
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Could we rise again as a nation?
What do you mean? Could we rise again as a nation?
Okay, because the state of the country.
Wait, say the country, I don't understand that. Explain me.
Right, the country have plenty money.
Have plenty money?
Yeah.
How you know that? So you have to tell me I have a child. Tell me now. How you know that? Gentlemen, thank you for the day. I can't really understand
The nation is living. Prophecy unfolding, judgment in morning. I love you still, my man. When will it end? Tell me, how did we come this way? Oh, my Trinidad, and to be Lord. Whilst the nation still hope and pray, the devil busy, I say. Oh, my Trinidad, and to be Lord. Oh, no, no, I'm feeling the pain for you, mama. Revelation strikes at your corner. Still we are holding on. Your children have lost their way, fighting for survival each day. Oh, no, no. Going from dawn till dawn. What is happening to my country? Every day is a sacrifice. Blood flowing like water daily. Lives could be lost at any price. The anthem is now a whisper. Some don't care to stand when it plays. The lawless is now in control. So the good folks going away. My train is here. Straight signs on the road we have. The hills are alive in a different way. Your bet is on the would we rise again, come what in? Yeah. Oh, the mighty dollar. No cast a spell of uncertainty. Oh, my Trinidad. You see, when the rich is getting richer, the poor must remain empty. Oh, my Trinidad. No, that I say, oh no, people balling for pain and hunger, inflation, cost of living higher, can't get no daily bread. So the put them on top, so they turn to crime instead. The arms of the state disappointed, still their salaries are daunted. That increase in the fiscal budgets, all money reaching all that high. To buy no jet for so much of money, when the hospitals are in need, poor people at everyone's mercy. So the hill reacting indeed. Oh no, yeah, the people cry, yeah. The hills are alive in a different way. Them who take home we money must take from it daily what we would we rise again, come what may, yeah. How would we truly excel In the midst of all this suffering. Oh my God. No, 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 no. Tell me, like Shadow said, poverty is hell. So it seems like the devil is king. Oh my God. Oh my Trinidad.
Lennox Smith TCT
No,
ground
no,
report
no,
on the
no,
Coroner
no, no.
Transformations live
Open up
broadcast
hands in
for
the heart of the ghetto
OCT
is what we
2024.
sow, we
Nothing
shall
but the
reap
truth.
tomorrow. Who are we going to blame? Even school children doing crime. Well, that is a sign of the time. Oh, my Lord, have we now gone insane? Whilst we kill we own one by one, skyscrapers going up in town, Chinese laborers at the core. This new city some shall see no more. So we have to hold up to see that 10 days and must to get along, scraping the bottom of the barrel with all this money in town. My Lord, the hills are alive in a different way. Two things we struggle, yeah, yeah. Hope we rise again, come what's in, yeah. In this abundance of wealth, still the poor people cannot cope. Oh my Trinidad, until they go. It is a stark reality. So much I've given up hope. Oh my Trinidad, oh my, oh no, oh no. Some turn to vagrancy, homeless children begging of mercy, Lord. Child abuse have risen again. Look like Jean and Dinah come back in tongue. Tears and them singing the song. To survive by any means necessary, they get the gun down the jail. Some say the leaders have failed. Who do right for one and for all? When there is an imbalance of the scale, then the writing is on the wall. If you ignore the plight of the people, well, the devil shall intervene. It's only divine intervention. I hope you know what I mean. Well, is it true that all these are free? With all these times and sweet like rainy, no, no. The hills are alive in a different way. And it's true we have this money in this land of so much poverty, no, no. The Lord is my shepherd, come one day, yeah. Christ, you see, all is well. We no 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 no. Something in the store. Why? There must be a there must be a would be people would I say there must be a our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. From Genesis to Revelation, in life there are many mansions. He made resources, he made provision to feed this nation. We have Calypso, Chucky, and thank you.
The children are different. Both
There was a little a black boy was he. The boy went to school and he come out unseen. Never learned He never learn about math, never learn how to write, he never study about that. All he study was his speakers, his sneakers and clothes. He learned how to dress and he learned how to code. He can't get no work, he can't get no job. He decide to steal and he decide to rob. But little black boy couldn't last long at all. The police put a bullet through his donkey head's skull. Little black boy go to school and learn. Little black boy show some concern. Little black boy, education is the key to get you off the street and off poverty. Little black boy, go to school and learn. Little black boy, show some concern. Little black boy, education is the key to get you off the street and all poverty. Well, yeah. What?
The guy we'll be talking about.
Boy was he.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
With a ring in
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
he feel proud.
Time check.
So proud was the boy that the boy that
18 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. In studio. Joining us a little about 7:30, so
and one little black baby
yours truly, Michael K. Mikey K.
go to school and little black boy.
Oh boy, oh boy.
From control, little black
Let me say a pleasant good morning
boy to get your
to my co-host. A sweet man, I realize these days since you're on TV, you only putting on shirt, wanna show up his chest in this kind of way. Me ain't know what's going on with he now. He just gave already story the other day. Woman beating him. But he looking for more cartel.
You can't help but being black, but because but the contract.
In Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Yeah.
Look in the front seat.
Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you, my brother.
Well, a pleasant
Oh
good
boy,
morning
oh
to
boy,
you
oh
as well,
boy.
my friend. A pleasant good morning. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clean, senior too. Looking
Yes.
nice. Looking like you, like honey all day, like you're looking for some.
Well, it may be because it's Friday.
Aye.
Because it's Friday, I suppose. So my natural inclination to look spicy and effervescent, maybe as a natural consequence of that mental state. But it's only mental. All right. So let's get that clear. But at any rate, my friend, of course, it is Friday. It is also, of course, the date for the rebuttal by the opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, in the Parliament, and it will commence at 10 o'clock today. I expect that support of sympathy, I wouldn't say sympathy, but certainly endorsement might be the more appropriate word, as well as solidarity, because I anticipate that she will use this opportunity. After all, Imsbert had provided, of course, that opportunity by he believing that somehow he will break some kind of record. I don't know what record he wanted to break, but with the putrid and the hogwash and the tribe that he would have delivered, of course, attempting to clearly fall in line with what we expect as an election budget, but at the same time throwing trinkets at the people that clearly are either myopic or extremely short in terms of people acceptance. And the general consensus is, if not unanimous, is that that is a waste of time, that attempt to try to bribe. Of course, there is an opportunity for a mid-year review closer to the elections if it goes until maximum November next year. But after that, well, all hell will break loose if Rowley decides not to, of course, hold the elections. That being as it may, but let us go straight to the headlines, except to say that once again, that Kamala Persad-Bissessar will be, of course, responding to the national budget that was delivered last Monday. So today being Friday, the center stage will be there. And of course, we anticipate she will lose no opportunity, having regard to the amount of time she has, to, of course, deliver a budget of nestled in the UNC's historical position of being people-centered, and I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of that. So stay tuned, people. I will be listening, of course. I didn't listen to Imbut. I don't think I should, because it's more of the same, depressing news, and of course,
Yeah, let me know. Why
promote
listen to Mbut? Why didn't listen to Mbut?
because it would have been depressing, and he didn't fail, because even when of necessity, because of the work that we are doing, I had to review and of course listen, but of course after, not live, he didn't fail to disappoint me. So more of the same, as we saw, self-aggrandizement, attempting of course to deflect attention away from the reality that they met over $10 billion in 2015, and now it's moved down to 5. And according to him, but I know it's my position is that it's closer to 4, and therefore more closer to IMF as well in real terms, as opposed to the impossibility in 2015. The country could not have ever considered, or the IMF, put another way, would not have considered Trinidad and Tobago as a candidate for IMF assistance. And a totally different scenario with Barbados. Remember, the Barbados Prime Minister had to go within weeks of going into government.
Yeah, weeks.
Yeah. Not that even days, in fact, days. I shouldn't say weeks, days to go to the IMF. Trinidad and Tobago was never in that situation. Rowley and they perpetuated that egregious and wicked and diabolical falsehood on the people of Trinidad and Tobago, purporting to be, of course, being able to do more with less. And they got more, and of course they wanted more, and now we have extraordinary debt to GDP. They borrowed. They of course mismanaged. They of course prioritized in a way that is detrimental to Trinidad and Tobago, and even their foreign policies and their economic policies have not produced what they say they are able to. So it's plenty talk, but no action. Yeah. Okay, so we go straight
All
to
right.
the...
1 minute before I go to all those headliners there,
Yeah, go ahead.
my brother Lennox.
Yeah.
Lawyer, look in the back, see who they
So again, Trinidad and Tobago.
at the business.
Good morning to each and every one of you that are locked on to us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Product Transformation on YouTube, Love Laventry on Facebook, Workers' Right Platform, again, and welcoming all the newcomers to the #1 program, The Ground Report. I'm Andy Williams, the pitbull of radio. Yeah, the sweet man, you see, not the big word man anymore. Yeah, the sweet man, Lennox Smith, right there. So let's get down to something here really quick, man. Oh boy.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Jesse Ramday with headline news here on CNC3. A rat infestation forced the closure of the Presal Secondary School on Thursday as scores of parents took their children out, especially after hearing of a suspected case of leptospirosis. The Education Minister has denied the incident while assuring that the ministry is actively working on the rat problem. When contacted, Tutor President Martin Lumpkin said while a child has been hospitalized, they do not yet know if it is leptospirosis as the test results have not yet come in. Caribbean Airlines pilots protested at Piarco International Airport yesterday morning, but the demonstration did not disrupt flights in or out of the country. The pilots gathered outside the airport entrance holding placards and called on the government to settle outstanding wages and increments owed to them. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association, Jason Wickham, assured that their protest was organized in a way that it did not impact travelers entering or leaving the country.
So today, everybody here is off, I understand. They're not on duty, so no flights are affected.
No, there'll be no flights affected, and Talpa supports the flights to leave on time.
And the Joint Trade Union Movement, which represents 50,000 members across 11 unions, is rejecting the government's 5% wage increase offered to public sector workers during Monday's budget. JTM President Ansel Roger says the government has abandoned collective bargaining by announcing the 5% offer for 2020 to 2022 without having prior negotiations with recognized majority unions. He sought to remind the public that unions would submit a research-based proposal to the CPO before they submit a counter-proposal to initiate collective bargaining. He says the finance minister's offer is contemptuous, disrespectful, and a disregard for the process, and is warning the population not to fall for it. Well, those were 6 News headlines. We have another news update for you at the top of the hour, right here on CNC3.
Oh boy! Well, I heard about that. What is going to call it? Lesbo paralysis. And well, you see the Caribbean Airlines. Sorry, that thing coming with a link. I wish if my girl Marie could send me certain thing. Oh God, we girl without the link. See if I can get with the link. If I get with the link, it could take a little while for me to be able to put it up on the screen, so I could think it on the phone direct. But if I get them news things, somebody know just to move the link, and I get that, it will be all up on the screen like that. Besides those two issues, Lennox Smith.
Education is the key.
Because I see I saw the pilots and them really line up outside there, stand up looking nice with their placards. I wish if everybody could have seen, would have just take some time to be able to do that. Besides those two issues, Lennox Smith, what else again? Because we know the schools excuse either rat or cockroach. It hot, no air condition. The government owing everybody. Them spending billions, borrowing billions. That kind of money them throw away. Them could have clear bargaining all these monies that they're owing all these people. That could have stimulate the economy. Because it come like a give back money, people money, their money, and it's all the working class, which is about 50,000 people. Oh, good. Let me say, even it was $2 billion, that's $2 billion in the system, you know. That's $2 billion in the system, you know. Them ain't doing nothing for nobody, boy. So we don't know about the school's situation. We elaborate about that like that. We learn about Caribbean Airlines. Look, them are the pilots need the money. Rowley say money can't sleep out. So we learn that. But what else again, Lennox Smith, that you have for we that we ain't learned yet? Besides what it is just went out there, unless you want to put in your 2 cents on that news headliners that we just get there. Go ahead, Lennox Smith.
Well, it is not unusual. It is not uncommon with this government. They act rambunctiously. They act unilaterally. They disregard, of course, a fundamental principle. So it was really obnoxious that IMSBERT, without consultation with the unions, to put a 5% offer on the, or should I say a 5%, I should say curve, or a 5% increase without consultation with the relevant trade unions. But it speaks to another issue. It speaks to the high-handedness of this government, and belies their, when it is convenient, saying that they are not responsible. The CPO, remember that? Well, of course, they were negotiating, and they came up with the 2%. Imbert and Rowley was out in front saying, listen, is the CPO, it has nothing to do with us. It's the same thing that they said, that is their playbook, it is idiosyncratic. The same thing with Malcolm Jones. Is not we, is the board that withdraw, of course, the matter from the court and so on. And at the end of the day, it was the government, because the government is the employer of all of these entities and the selector of the players that would be operating according to their mandate ostensibly in these institutions. So they can no longer fool us. So what they have done on this occasion is just come out front, because regularly the Prime Minister would say that the National Security Council and the Prime Minister and even the Minister of National Security has nothing to do with crime. The most they could do, of course, is facilitate and provide the relevant resources. And then you had, of course, a total nincompoop, a total fella who is out of his depth all entirely. I'm talking about the so-called substantive Minister of National Security, Hines, saying that he is not responsible for any crime plan. However, in 2015, they had a 10-point crime plan inside of their manifesto, saying how they will address crime. Now that the situation is beyond them, now that they can't manage it, they then, of course, deflect attention. These are schoolboys and schoolgirls. Want big people work and cannot deliver except they want the bloody money, and we must fire them substantially. But the other matters that is taking the headlines. Well, I want to say, as usual, the person information. Williamsville man shot outside Princess Town Mini Mart. Yes, and then of course we have as well Princess Town, a mechanic found dead near his home. Wow! So this thing is overwhelming, and it is no. In other words, no community is safe in this country, because we are talking about Williamsville. We are talking about, of course, Princess Town. And of course there are others when we tread down the depressive news in this country, in spite of the fact that Imbert and they will sell us that kind of illusion. Of course, the businessman who was kidnapped, money was paid but not returned. But of course the mother begs kidnappers, give me back my son. So money was paid. He was not released, and one could assume, having regard to
when
the
that
trend,
went on, when that one went on,
that would have been some businessman, right? Okay, that would have been the mother of Kunupia. Remember that Kunupia businessman who was kidnapped over a week ago, right? Is pleading with those involved to return him alive to his family. Three policemen, remember that, are in custody assisting investigators with the case. Remember that we talked about it in brief yesterday. A marked police vehicle was also being impounded. Sitting in her Kunupia home on Thursday, Lincia Hans Rahan made a heartfelt appeal to those responsible for taking away her son, right? A used car dealer. So he was a businessman. We understand that the ransom was paid. 3 police officers have been, been placed in custody. I wouldn't say arrested, but of course have been detained as part of the investigations, as well as a police car, because the information is that a police vehicle pulled up, the occupants purporting to be police officers, and then of course he was bundled into that vehicle and whisked away, not to be seen after. So of course the article, just read about one more paragraph. Don't matter how they release him or what position he is in now, send him back home to us. Of course, the mother continues to plead.
And you think,
because
with all that plea and it have people in custody, and that happened since how long? That's about a week now.
Yes. I will say 3 weeks ago.
You think he alive? 3 weeks ago? You think he alive?
Over a week ago. So it's a week. So that's about 7 days now. Yeah.
Right. You think he alive? Because when money paid, nobody can reach back. Bring him back, will be bringing back real evidence where people can get locked up.
Yeah, because he would have seen faces and so on. Yeah, he would have seen faces again. Yeah. So I believe
anytime he resurfaces, people get in trouble.
Yeah. Clearly, and they don't want that, so they will get rid of the evidence.
You think he's alive? Or
no,
you think he's back?
I've already taken my position. I say that I don't expect him to be returned alive.
Well, nice. So let me ask you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago too. Those of you that on Real Media, TT, all the social media platforms. Nice. So let me be saying where is all the indulgence, before we hit one more headliners again, or 2 or so. Don't forget to send your voice notes with what's your headliner. Some of you right now might be listening to Lennox Smith and might be saying, hey, but besides that, what about the news with so? You know, I hear that news no way. That is where all you come in. All you have to organize, send your voice note about the news that we are all in here. That all you will raise and highlight to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. All of you that are looking to us, Bootram John, all of you, Primraj, Chanel, Wendy, and all of you, Marilyn, Marilyn Seacharan, Afisa D. Mohammed, and Annie, all of you. Hey, Timothy, good morning. Boudram John, good morning to you. Bernadette, Nita, good morning. Chanja, good morning to you. All of you, all of you. Hey, D'Souza, pleasant good morning. Wayne Harris, good morning. Noel. Yes, yes, yes. Indra Pinky, good morning. Makano, a pleasant good morning to you. Anne-Marie Bolan, good morning. Ryan, a pleasant good morning to you. Davy, good morning. Baruch, a pleasant good morning. Roger Worrell, a pleasant good morning to you. Yes, 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 yes. Marilyn Seacharan, good morning. Sibaran Ghani, a pleasant good morning to you. Anne Brown, good morning to you. I hope all is sharing, send your all voice notes. What's on your front burner? Make sure and do that. LP, good morning. Christian Reyes, a pleasant good morning to you. First again, a customer, so I'm running through it fast. Hey, Barry Boudram, good morning to you, my brother. I like that, I like that. Let's keep Philip at bay for we, right? Nice, nice. Then we'll be talking about Grace Caesar, good morning. Leon Charles, a pleasant good morning to you. Hey, Christian Ali, good morning, my brother. Oli Bernadette KR, good morning. Mala, good morning to you. Hey, Lance Kopol, a pleasant good morning. Yes. Logan, a pleasant good morning to you, Logan. Gloria, a pleasant good morning to you. Christine, good morning. Look how quick I run through this now. Mohan, good morning to you. Drake's, a pleasant good morning. Cindy, good morning to you. Angela, good morning. Yes, yes. DJ Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. Hossein, good morning. Keelan, good morning. Sita Commission, good morning to you. Jerome Moses, a pleasant good morning to you. Calvary Spirit, good morning. Vida, good morning. Hey, baby, can't forget baby. Margaret, good morning to you. While I'm doing that, share. Get you all front burners ready. Dexter, good morning. His wife, Sita, good morning. Jesse, a pleasant good morning. Nice. Selwyn Batiste, good morning. Chawa, good morning. Nice. I'm sure I miss nobody. I run through that. Mary David, good morning to you. Gregory Charles, good morning. Nice, and that is what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about. And I must say a pleasant good morning for those of you that are listening to us throughout the Caribbean and whether it be United States, Canada, or out there in Europe. Good morning to each and every one of you, and thanks for picking the #1 program, The Ground Report, for choosing us as your morning coffee, as your information bank, as your motivator. Thanks so much, and don't forget to welcome a lot of other people, please. Don't forget. Anderson Wilson, a pleasant good morning to you. Wifey, that's Anderson wife. The other day, I like where you do that the other day, girl. You're well called and show we how things this be. You must do some of that a little more often. I and you know what we're talking about. Do some of that a little more often. That is real, real good. You had me laughing, boy. Good morning, Carla. Annie. Oh, good boy, you had me laughing. Neil, good morning. Yes, yes, yes. And those who I forgot, like let me say my good friend, Postman, AAKPostman.com, and his whole family that always with a Ground Report too. Or we forget we boy who feeling better now, Malcolm X, Macano, everybody. That a lock on everybody. Whether it be Miss Lorna, she might be saying, see, look, they ain't calling me Lennox and Andy and them dog. I was here on this program first. From the beginning, the first of that, and then there's always forget me. Everybody be talking about Lennox and Andy and them, boy. Oh, God. Miss Lorna, good morning to you. Hey, Miss Waterfield, all of you. Miss Woodbrook, Anna and Sammy, all of you. Everybody, every single body. Don't forget 8 doubles and roti. Well, bronchita earlier when I come out there. I had to eat some of that roti, and then everybody tell me about that roti place there, Felton Street there, in New York there. Outside the Iron Lady, she's selling Moby and all kind of nice juice and thing. And then besides that one of our very own Jimmy Ram Creek. Yeah, who just had to pass by roti, buy juice. And while there people coming in, whatever listen to the ground report, look onto this. Hey Jimmy, good morning to you, my brother. Onika, you now join we, girl. Good morning. Rajaram, you now join me too. Good morning. Nice. So Lennox Smith, while we doing that, hey, Roma Price, you is trouble, you know. And make you out there, you know. A pleasant good morning to you. Lacroix, always lock on, Mr. Lacroix. Pleasant good morning to you. And to all of you up there in Comana, that are lock on Omotura. And I'm going to say morning to the people of Sandy Grande, Toko, Sandy Grande, Valencia. People, a pleasant good morning. Yes, Barry Boudram. We are international like like Breaking Dawn partner. We are in Jamaica. We are in any way it have Amplia or beat or TSTT flow. Anyway it have flow, we are, when we go live, all those countries too that have flow does be seeing us. Yes, my brother. And we are working on getting on the Digicel network. That we're talking about, you on the Digicel. Right, remember, it's to take Gael, which is local, have always been on the flow. Gael are wrong before even Digicel come in. Like I remember that hour. Right. But remember how the competitions go, we pay on flow, this one don't want to pay on Digicel, and you know how it is go. But Gael will end up on Digicel very soon. So it will be both on flow and on Digicel. So yep. And then the news spreading is new people, however it go. And no different to how we build 104.7 more FM. The famousness of 104.7 more FM came from the ground report program being there with thousands of people. What make no anybody feel that this program, this #1 program, ain't go attract people like flies? And if some people might say, well, hey, the Gael and all of that, well, why? We here to make we own local television station #1.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, bang.
We got real people and seeing it. Hey, but look the boys there. Then I go tell this one. Yeah, don't Gael too. Well, right, that's a different audience. Who here we on radio don't know we, you know. Yeah. But who see me on TV knowing we know?
So true.
Oh,
so
you
true,
look over the first time. Yeah, where it is. I am Andy Williams, the pitbull. They say I see dog. Watch out. I don't know radio. I don't know effect. That the dog. And that up there, that fella there up there, you call him Lennox Smith. They call him the big word man. He just use plenty big kind of language there and then break it down and them kind of thing now. Well, I just break it down for the smaller masses. That Lennox Smith. But since he dancing by Pagos, he's a sweet man now, his chest open, you understand? He looking to attract honey. Yeah, he looking, something he want to attract, that kind of thing when a man thinking up. So, I know the front of woman when she tight pants and thing with neighbor break and them kind of thing. She looking for something. So Lennox is looking for something.
I hear you, my friend. With friends like you, Nobody needs enemy, boy. Oh gosh. All right, friend. All right, friend. Yes,
All
indeed.
right, so while we wait,
Yeah,
while
but
we are
there is
waiting on
another
them,
issue that I
other
want to share
headliners.
with
Yes, yes.
with the public, and that is, of course, a double tragedy for Penal family. Woman dies hours after son nephew gunned down. And so here we have it. Again, only in Trinidad, a Penal family is reeling from multiple tragedies that occurred within hours on Wednesday night. So that would have been 2 days ago, or 2 nights ago. In the first tragedy to befall the family, cousins Gerald Felix and Mario De Leon were gunned down outside the Felix family's Dookie Street home on Wednesday night. And then during the pre-dawn hours on Thursday, Gerald's mother, Cecilia, died at the San Fernando General Hospital from what families suspect to be dengue fever, owing to her extremely low blood platelet count. So the tragedy continues. Felix, who celebrated her 90th birthday on September 28th, is said to have died without knowing that her son and nephew were both murdered, as she was brought to the hospital earlier on Wednesday by Gerald, who, after returning home, was later shot dead. When Newsday arrived, of course, at the family's home on Thursday morning, wails and screams could be clearly heard as the family struggled to deal with the reality of the double tragedy that befell them. I don't think I could read any more, except I think that the gist of the matter is clear, and this has become stereotypical of Trinidad. It's not a one-off occasion. It may be a weird situation, a novelty for communities, but as this kind of tragedy spreads throughout the geographic space of Trinidad and Tobago, clearly persons like us who are looking at the macro matter, not at the micro level, but at the macro matter, will identify that this is happening throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Nowhere is safe. So Trinidad and Tobago has become a Russian roulette society where at any time, anywhere, somebody could meet their death prematurely because of some assailant who would be toting a gun, as the case may be. But of course, in this case, it is double in the sense that one has to say that the government's responsibility for the control and the minimizing of the dengue threat through a particular mosquito, the Aedes aegypti mosquito, and of course, if their policies and programs are not working, their public health agenda is not working, as we have seen with so many other policies and agenda of this government, including, of course, the economic one, where, of course, today we will be, we'll get a critical examination of what transpired on Monday, delivered by the Minister of Finance. What has to happen? The only thing has to happen here, if we are to give any advice at all, is that Rowley must consider immediately no back pocket talk and no grandstanding. There is nothing in his back pocket. November next year is the final straw, the final period legally that you could be in office. So let us spare us that kind of anxiety. Call an election now, and maybe early next year, if not at the end of this year, and let us a snap election. Of course, it would be, if he wants it to be held at the end of this year, of course, a snap election, and let us get it over and done with, get them out of office so that Trinidad and Tobago can breathe again, and that we could live a better life. We want to live a better life, and it is clear that it's only Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the UNC will be able to deliver that, having regard to the poor performance of the PNM under Keith Christopher Rowley and his bunch of opportunistic political parasites. So that is clear. Tobago Party hits budget punishment, neglect, and manipulation. What Tobago Party seeing it like how Kamala Prasad Bisesa said, of course, using different words but conveying the same meaning. In this case, of course, they are talking about punishment, neglect, and manipulation. That is clear. That is a fair assessment of this budget. Over 30 bands register for October Carnival, so that is supposed to be happening in Tobago. And of course, as I
But
said,
30 bands
yeah, 30,
registered for Carnival.
yeah.
Yeah, and then it have somebody text and said, don't forget, we must always mention about those pariah divers that died and Upton. Now these people can't get no sort of company.
From time to time, we must make reference
this
to that.
government kill these 4 people. Eh? They kill these people, them. Oh God, they spend over 30 million, 40 million. And not a cent yet for those family members. Watch me, all your children and grandchildren, children will suffer for all your wickedness towards people. Remember that. Right? Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to Dave and Deborah. Dave and Deborah, pleasant good. Harrigan. Oh God, but I forget Harrigan. Yes, Dave and Deborah, pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. Right? Lennox, you know what I want to do by the time?
Go ahead.
We're going to do something. Yeah, I want to organize and let me just play 2-3 voice note by the time. I like that. And
only to say that, of course, as we said in that news clip, the Cal pilots, of course, in placard protests at Piaco International Airport. So they use their place of work, their regular, should I say, visitation, their home base, so to speak, to launch their concern. What are they? We are going to, of course, discuss that after these.
Morning and get the news to me. Why I ain't get the news to me and send it on link? The 6, this guy, after 6 you get it, you just unlink it and send it for me. Why didn't do that for me? Anyhow, let me take a call. Morning call. Where are you calling from? What the contribution on the ground report this morning, and we want you all early before the 7 o'clock. You all have, what's me? The earliest bird, they suck the sweetest nectar. You don't understand what? Like right now, plenty people loving Lennox Smith more than me because my chest ain't showing. He opened his chest early, so all is he on. So who come on early? That is what we had to do it. That is what we had to do it. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller. I refuse to respond. Go ahead.
Everyone, you also again like everyone and also mighty church. So like everyone with the good job you all are doing, coming out every morning and then there and doing what all you're supposed to do for this country, because right now, listener, we now get our budget, flush it down that budget into the toilet bowl right now. Imagine the pilots and all have out. This country gone. This government taking the people, this stuff now. This country and having them going down a road. And I want to tell you all them good. And you're hearing much about it. You're hearing on the news, but you're hearing much people talk about it. In recent times, all them black and family members interfere with the family. Right? That's why you have to go and prepare yourself, because God will on you. And so you can interfere with 15-year-olds when it's a rich man. And I think you know and just what you supposed to, because you live your life already. And the young people coming up, you have no right to interfere with a 15-year-old girl. You have to know what and instead of that, you want to get here and somebody you have cancer, what if you have leg, pain?
Right, but before you go, before you go, where Smarty went, because I know Rowley Jambi Obia was interfering with your phone. Look at hearing you real good now. Where Obia man you went by, where Pastor responded. How your song is so clean? How you get the Jambi out of the phone?
I have written in this country. You know why? Because when I talk on my phone, I will hear me because I can see and then do this. Yeah, I'm written in this country. Because this country and this, right? And it's not on the phone one too. So that is the phone again. And I'm on the phone all the time. I understand what's going on. I said that nothing wrong with it. And I check my phone all the time. I see on the phone. I see him again. And then said, it's not to check this on here. Because right now we have all kinds of things going on.
Nice, nice. So at least you know what to do. So what it is you do to club before now, just give you a quick, tell them a quick. So all who phone this get trouble, they will know what to do one time. Yes. 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 Thank you so much, Miss Lahokita.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to my partner, Small Dread Boy. We're Small Dread and his wife. Oh, God, boy, I had to come and check it, boy, but Small Dread gets sick. Small Dread was in hospital. I don't know, Andy Williams, don't know for his Small Dread. He is one of the number one loyal supporters of Andy Pitbull. Andy for Grandy when it comes to Valencia and all you. Small Dread Boy. I ain't check the man gets sick, the man was I ain't check the man. I supposed to go check the man, I supposed to call it, boy, watch me. First I tap, a shame, Small Dread Boy, I been straight, you know. A man of a great humility must talk the truth. Small Dread, may I come and face it because all I was to face it so long. Shame, boy. But I go take that shame out of me and I will come and check you on the wifey partner. Continue to get well soon, brother. Live long for both of we to watch the neck of the PLM, not Rowley. We must stop only saying Rowley. Everybody must say the PLM because then they go move Rowley with small pin and say, well, hey, look, the PLM clean up itself. How we call it? That is how we just call when you see you doing rubbish, Lennox Smith. You spell recycle. Look, oh my God. Look, the PLM just recycle. Remove the old nasty, rubbish, stinking, smelling political piper. Sprung in Rowley. And look, we organize and we clean up. Small pin who dirty just like Rowley. And we go package that for all you. Here we be saying, we don't want Rowley, we don't want small pen, we don't want the P&M. The P&M is what we don't want. Okay? Go ahead, call a pleasant good morning to you. Lennox, I hope you learn how to get the jumbie out of the phone. Miss Lauketa tell you how to get the jumbie out of the phone. Hold it, watch it, and talk it. Go ahead, Mr. Faizaman.
Andy for Grandy, and Grandy for Andy. And that is all the reason, again, we want foreign observers and not no CARICOM observers. Because you see, when the result in Guyana, our Prime Minister from the Caribbean run down there and say he recognized Granger, and the Caribbean said they recognize he. So we want foreign people who just do the right thing and give me the result. Because no, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, workers' rights, and up the Caribbean, share the life, people. President, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, all I happen to see the clip where Faris Awari talk on the property tax. Now, our esteemed political leader, Ms. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, was saying all along that that is a flawed process and they are going to just take money for themselves in consolidated fund.
How long that clip is with Faris Awari talking about the property tax? Approximately how long, sir?
No, it's about a minute with the interview on TCT.
Would you be able to send that for me, please? On the same number you will send.
I don't have it, Andy.
Lennox Smith. Lennox go get that. Don't worry, Lennox go get that. Get that from them. Sorry. Them. But you go ahead, Mr. Faizaban.
Get what? Get what? Get what?
Sorry.
The clip with Faris Awari talking about the property tax on you said on TCT.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I read something of that yesterday on the ground report, but I suppose we could get the video. All right.
Video. Boy.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. Faizaban.
Because when our political esteemed leader, Ms. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, was saying that they only hoodwinking the citizens to get more revenue and to put it as a revenue stream. Now, I want people who are listening to this program this morning, Andy and Mr. Lennox, that when the local government reform, and in Arima, when the woman who is man, talking and saying that the property tax is for the corporation, Rowley self said with him out, India said with him out, and the PNM stooge on them come out and say it going to the corporation direct. But no for saying he had to come up with a formula how to distribute it. When India self say that what revenue they collect with the corporations in the area, they will, and where the shortfall, the government will release allocation to make up. Why is the story changed now? Just as local government reform come in, is the best way to go forward. And you remember, I would like to ask Mr. Lennox, when the Lower Manatee Field, when it is finished ahead of schedule, Rowley come and say to this country, hard time, we have to pray because dry hole. You know about dry hole. Hard time. You see, come back again. The 1st of October, the bosun, that train one, the sign on LNG revenue will be better off. But you tell the citizens, and they know which one to. One hot in my heart, Andy and Lennox, and the listeners. You tell the vulnerable, the physically challenged, and the disabled. He tell them, 20, 27, 28 budget, then they could get something. And 9 years, he would weaken everybody and all the seen it. My political leader telling all this. 9 years, but now we tell all that, wait 12 years. Wait in 12 years' time. No, we'll get something.
That's nasty, man.
I don't want to say nasty. I will say, see that fella, they call Keith Christopher Rowley. He's so, how to say it, so biological stink that they have
Oh God.
any disease. You can put it any way to fight war as a biological war, chemical warfare. You will destroy anything. Because you know why?
Why?
I want to come after me. I want to come after me. Because you know why? The thief of the treasury to procurement, let's imagine, excuse in the parliament, and the procurement legislation office telling you it have $5 billion in modern time. Eh? And suffer the people. And yet still, the witchcraft and the obeah you bring from Ghana, eh? And the same people there are sacrificing human life and saying, and they sit down quiet, and you must sit down quiet, Andy. And the disability, the physically challenged and disabled people in society, eh? They're willing to ask. That's why the branch fall on Sharon Rowley. The cutting tree on the premises and that certain branch fall on top of she. Eh? The kind of stinkness they're doing. But you see, I want the narrative and the like Port of Spain with the same one. Now who is the end and the tail where the governments come out now? Eh? Or that already that there earlier and hoodwink earlier. And that is governance earlier. $7 billion in our budget just gone for education. And you see the dilapidated state. People, today, let me come out and let me voice be heard.
Before you go,
and have a nice day,
before you go, I must give you an A+ until you go to the top of the class. You come up with a biological kind of, I say, well, you take Lennox work, you find a big word. You break it down. With how stink Rowley is, you say what? Not in any country go, just his fumes will lick up everything.
Yeah, biological warfare, chemical warfare, it's worse than that. Yeah.
All right, my brother, thanks. Oh boy, that is me boy Freeport, you. Let me take some other calls. Say morning call, where calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Andy, morning to everybody, and including yourself, right?
Yes.
Andy, I hear on the news and I see this woman stamping up her child and beating up each child, bleeding all through the nose. A woman carried that video to the police station. This is what I hear on the news. Carry the video and showing the police in the police station. And they say that is the case for the Child Abuse Authority or the Children's Authority. Them can handle that. And all you understand what's going on under Christopher Rowley government? He's the head of national security. We have Fitzgerald Hines, and we have our next man added to it again. Plus we have Ola Christopher, the Commissioner of Police. And nobody is saying nothing. And not only that, a man went and reported a rape, statutory rape, the child under 17 years, and the police turned a blind eye to it. Understand what's going on now, Andy? Understand what's going on. Right? Then they have another case. This is what's happening, Andy. This is on the news now. Where police take a police vehicle, change the number plate and kidnap a man. That's what's going on in this country, you know. This is on the news, you know. Boy, Andy, people have to understand what's going on under Christopher Rowley, you know. Hear what is going on with this man, you know. And now we have the pilot and them striking why everything that's happened under this, you know, and the public that has to suffer because the PNM don't want to pay people their money. What they doing with the money? And finally, this caller who has called from America, I want to tell him there is the strike of port workers in America. About 45,000 port workers strike. You know for what, Andy? The containers, the young children crying and falling in the containers. That happened in America, a first world country, the superpower of this world.
Hold 1 minute, caller. Lennox, I sent something for you. If you could unlink it for me. Please now, send it back normal without the link. So I'll be able to put it up on the screen now. 3 things I sent it for you, including Alwari, stupid talk what they say there. But all I needed is unlink. And send it back to my WhatsApp.
All right.
And I'll be able to put it up.
All right, okay.
As you're saying, imagine a country, America.
There, the 45,000 port workers strike because they say they're not working. Because they're hearing children bawling in the containers. Under the watch of a superpower called America, under Biden and Kamala Harris' watch. And I want to tell the caller from America today, Andy, mind your blasted business in your country. Instead of hanging hours, mind your business.
Let's call it that. That's the one where anybody say anything about Biden and Kamala Harris. Whether it be Kingsley, anybody, he just call them and put them in place in a very smart way. That one.
Yeah.
So what you had to tell him this morning?
Mind your blasted business. Okay. You nasty man like you.
No. Don't reach at that part. Just saying any business. But what? So you're saying under Kamala Harris?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're saying under Kamala Harris and Biden administration, you're saying Kamala Harris is there already. So Biden is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is Biden because she is the vice president of America. What better she could offer? Again, I'm just asking a question because me and him to end up on the pet bullet. I out of that America politics. Right. So you believe that it's same feather that whether Kamala Harris end up the president is the same Democrat and it's the same broom they're going to sweep with.
That's right.
So that come like the PNM. Whether they move Rowley or they put thing, is the PNM on the whole is the problem.
Yes.
All right. Friend from America, don't call, don't send no message. You have to leave this fella to be able to talk in mind. Go ahead, my brother.
Andy, I want to believe they want to put. This is my opinion though, eh? This man and son, her name Brian, he could be a candidate, they could put him to be a candidate for Prime Minister, you know. That's my opinion, eh? I'm just saying it, that's my opinion.
Well, all right, thank you very much. Let's see about any other calls. While we wait the calls, let's send you all voice notes. What's on your front burner? Well, I know Lennox is on LinkedIn. 3 things there. But while you're on LinkedIn, that you have anything while, you know, that you would like to just throw out again, that, you know, while you're doing things, certain things just touch your mind quick. Is there anything, Lennox Smith, that touch your mind that you would like to bring to the public?
Yes, of course. There's always with this government. We have, of course, as I said, the CALF pilots. I think that is a very disturbing development. And then, of course, we have the whole question of those situations with respect to the murders and that kidnapping. I think that is a very harrowing experience. And then, of course, you have the situation with respect to the family who had a double tragedy, 2 murders, and of course a dengue candidate. And then, of course, the situation in Tobago with respect to the amount of bands that would have registered and whether or not they are inviting, whether directly or indirectly, a further tragedy in Tobago, having regard, of course, to the political mission of the police and the transportation officers in Tobago. The Tobagonians believing that they have been emasculated, they are subjected to persecution, not prosecution, persecution, and that deepens, of course, their antagonism against the PNM. Of course, the PNM doesn't recognize that, it appears. So the appointment of Ansel Dennis, to the Senate, they believe, Dr. Rowley believed that could salvage or wipe away all the iniquities that would have been perpetrated on Tobago over the last 21 and now 22 years. That and a pink donkey he will not see. That and Godface clearly the decision is clear, and yet still, of course, they continue, of course, to persevere. The Tobagonians are saying that they have been hit with injustice as far as the budget is concerned. I'm sure Kamala Prasad Bisesa will address that because at her turn at the creases, so to speak, what we had was a situation where she had a special ministry dedicated to Tobago, and Rowley was frank and decried that, saying that it was two parallel entities, and when he came into office, disbanded that. But now we have seen now that the table has turned, he has gone back to that very position where, of course, why I said there is a budgetary allocation for the THA, there is also budgetary allocation for non-THA projects in Tobago. So those are some of the issues. Yeah.
Nice. So let's go back to the lines. Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Just one point I wanted to make again. They have goat race, donkey race, crab race, jackass race in Tobago. They have music festival. They had carnival recently. They have carnival again this month, and they go have carnival again just now. What they're taking the taxpayers' money to do, Andy? What?
Wow.
Whole time carnival in October and all, Andy, in Tobago. But you are really going on in this with this PNM government, boy. And they give an increase in money to the allocation in the budget for Tobago. What they do with all that money? And you know, UNC go saying this, don't sing me up, You know, UNC go come and give them more money again. And they will never investigate what they do with the money in the past. And the thanks that they have a good day.
Next caller, morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Miss Woodbrook.
Yes. Listen, Andy, today I am waiting on, I cannot wait for 10 o'clock to listen to the Honorable Leader of the Opposition when she presents her the budget conversation, I could say, in Parliament. I'll be listening from the first word to the last. When Imbert came on, I turned off my TV, but I'll be listening to this. But what I called to tell you about a friend of mine, we were chatting, and she said to me, when they asked Camilla after the budget presentation, what she would have done, and she said she would have given the minimum wage would have been $25. She would have raised it to $25. She would have given public servants at least 10% increase, and you know what that she would do. And this idiot will ask me, where will she get the money from to do all that she says she's going to do? So I said, let me tell you, like my sister and I, if your cake, this, and you get the cake of the same ingredients, my cake will come out like a dumpling because I don't know why I do it. You understand? And she will make a beautiful cake for you. I said, well, that is an example of how we're going to do and deal with the budget. You give Rowley and the PNM how much billions of dollars over the years, right, to see about the country and the people of the country. What did they do with that money, right? And you're going to give Kamala Prasad Bisesa the same amount of money. And what you get? Schools. You get health center in Caranage. The roads were fixed. Public servants got the highest factor that they ever got. The ungrateful people. They got the highest factor that they ever got. You know? Pensioners, they got an increase at 3,500. From that day to this, not a black cent came on and that money, but billions were spent. You understand? So let me tell you this now. Kamala Prasad Bisesa knows what she and her team will have to do. They have vision, they have intelligence, they have love for the people, they have love for the country, and they want to see people live better, unlike the PNN. So when she gets there, because she's going to get there, I mean, they said everybody don't expect her to get empowerment and everything. It's easy. We all have to work hard to make our country a better country. But she has the heart, the intelligence, all that it takes to make life better for this country. So don't worry to ask me where she going to get the money from. Because how much is 66 billion? Look how much billions. It's not the same money wasn't spent. Look how much money, Lennox.
It's over half $1 trillion. They done spend already.
Right. Right. So when we look at
500 billion.
Right. Tell me, what do we as a people for that? When it was spent and all that took place is that this government, they tax the people, they take and every day, every week, every month, every year, they make life harder for the people. People could see it and they could hear it and they could know it. You understand? So this is why I am saying, when she comes into government, things will be better with the help of all of us, you understand? Because when you look at it, what in the name of God, people are not stupid as in front of your eyes, what in the name of God did the Rowley and the PNM do with all that money to have our country in the mess that it is in? Eh? You're going to buy 2,000 cars for the police. Now tell me, them cars is like you know them movie with the turbo boost or whatever it is, and you go and program all them cars and tell them go lab until go Belmont, go Coronet, go all over Trinidad and fix the customs. They just don't know what they are doing. They take the money, they fix Balize House. I was passing by Balize House last week. I could not believe the amount of glass that these criminals, these gangsters, putting up in this Balize House. And you have people in this country who don't have food. You have the old people suffering. They're going to the health office not have sense. Yeah, you have to first outside the health office on. That building at the bank that Queen's Park is quality health complex or whatever it is. Instead of building that, they could have paid those same hundreds of millions and put proper equipment in the hospital, you understand? So that people would be able to get proper health here. It is not how much money or whatever, but it's how they spend the money. Yeah? And Kamala Prasad is and the UNC. They have a vision. They have a love for people, a love for country. And they no investors they come in here. They don't even know how to get investors to come here. And the thing about it, you have to get rid of the crime for investors to come here. So you see, all that has to be done, and all that could be done, and all that would be done by UNC. We have to know they are the better managers, and they are going to fix San Tobago, and we are going to live better. I am waiting. And I am we are waiting to hear the presentation from Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, because I know all that has to be done by the grace of God and the support of the people, we will be able to live better. All you rewind and see what Kamala Prasad Bisesa and her government did from 2010 to 15, and look and see how Rowley and the PNM did absolutely nothing but destroy this country for 9 years. And it had to stop. And it had to stop now. And all of us have to band our hands together. We have to work together and give the Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC the support that they need. We have to prepare ourselves and we have to vote. As Mikey said yesterday, we have to watch the EBC. We have to insist that we get international observers. We have to make sure that all those people in the camera, they walk in the house, no, all of us have to be observers, all of us have to work hard. We have to pray and ask God for divine intervention, but we have to work hard, and we have to be determined to take back our country, and life will be better. You know, let me go. I am looking at somebody, a public servant, she said, when Kamala was there, it was the biggest back pay she ever got. Now you want to tell me so much of billions of dollars spent and dumped up pilots outside with the airport protesters? These have to be well paid. These people are driving a maxi. When they take a plane over 35 or 40,000 feet in the air and they're not satisfied and they have money problems, what do you think will happen in my country? You're not thinking this government is evil, they're wicked, they're duncy, they're stupid. All they're doing is taking the money for themselves. And I am looking at think in what yesterday and some programs, and some programs say that the public servants, I think the workers, they are getting $350 more a month. I say how insulting. I saw all of them in URP and CPEC to pay passes to come to meetings, to wear jersey, and say, re. And they are getting on. As it is such a big favor. They did something so big by giving people $350. $350 can't even buy a ticket and it. $350 can't do nothing. Yeah? But all you get to is they're insulting the people and they forget the people are entitled to know nothing. They are getting on as if 350 is big money. And then I hear Harari saying, let me go ahead. I hear Harari saying, they can put on more because it would have come to $1 billion. And he quoting figures. Harari, why the hell you don't stop renting the government? You getting $32 million a year for your building. $32 million a year for your building. But yet you feel it's a big deal to give people $3.50. So you saw the insulting the citizens of this country. Let me tell you, listen, the evidence is there. And all you will hear more from the callers, the hosts and the callers of the ground report. All you will be reminded of how Kamala Prasad, the censor, and how government spend money and how Rowley, PNM and Rowley, how they waste the money. The people got nothing. But it has to stop because guess what? We want to live better. We intend to live better. And we are doing what we are supposed to do to live better, which is to vote for the UNC. And things in this country are the grace of God. And putting their hands and heads together, our country will be the country that it is supposed to be. Because you see how it is now? It has to clean up. It has to stop. It has to end. PNM must go. We don't want to see them. We don't want to hear them. We had enough of them. They are nothing but a band as destroyers. Blessings, guys.
Andy, I sent the linked material for you, and only to remind that on the corridor transformation and the corridor transformation, you can get right now live the ground report as well on YouTube. Corridor transformation you log into, and on Facebook you log into Love Laventil, and you will be in line, or should I say, right inside of the ground report. So I just want to remind people that you can get the program live if that is your preference there. The 3 items have been delinked and sent to you as we speak, Andy.
Nice. Go ahead, caller. A pleasant good morning to you. And don't forget, listen through your phone. Go ahead.
Morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice.
Morning to Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Mikey, and all the people.
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear. Pleasant good morning to you, Harry.
Yeah, morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy Williams, I want to highlight 3 things, boy.
Yes. We are listening.
The first thing is that when Rowley came into government, they raised the salary, and I don't know by how much percent. And I would like a little highlight that. The second point is, it have a lot of African snail crawling the streets all over California, Groveland, I know for elsewhere. Don't talk about the rat. It had a rat all over. They're waiting for them thing to bite me and kill me, boy. Are the ministry existing in this country? I would like to know if the ministry thing in the amount of rat it have on the William, at least if they do, they can pass and give people the correct nets, no. Or they advertise something that we could throw and kill them, boy. Too much a rat, boy. This government, Rowley, is worse than a rat, boy. Anything he bite dead, boy. And this everything that the Africans still try to eating down everything, boy. And I see no result, nobody coming to at least say something about it. They talk about it and just die off. Andy Williams, we would like also really touch on that, boy. Vote UNC for the want to live and vote PNM for the want to dead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Oh boy. I'm putting the things in place what Lennox Smith said. So go ahead, the lines are open to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I'll go to get to the voice notes and them in a bit. But I'm going to give you all the numbers to call. 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call or send your WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053. 366-3053. Morning caller.
Morning, Andy. Mighty K. Lennox. On you, Dean. Oh, God, boy.
Just say director. Just say director. Because it's plenty people this thing. Cuff don't be wrong so sometimes. Newbie don't be wrong so sometimes. So we just have different directors. So just say director. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Mr. Book, you know. Mr. Book, you don't ever say that people like you and Santa Cruz that just give you some more time. Hey, you all the time. Nobody can cut off you, no Mr. Santa Cruz, which is good. And you have to tell it all. But people stop these contact their out. It's true. Now still grateful to the just PNM people over this stuff. A citizen of this country this morning for now read out. Because Andy is in a fight. We can't afford to go down this road anymore. And Mr. Road said it. And when we come out to vote, it's a several thing. From the painting, go straight back to the ultimate reality. The fake oil. As someone mentioned, me doing nothing but the diamond then. Dr. Farkin Chambers. And he lifted on and on and on. We are cooking floating in Tobago. The commissioner, who just received rank of commissioner, I probably a physical. Your body, not a brain. I just want to know what is really good to Rowley and these people in America. And you mind, we don't stop using the word politically. So people that can read up people like whatever I am. In what way you think it is, or whoever thinks it is, read it all here. Somebody might say, was it by voting? Or was it by, you know, instead of them, read it all here. Read it all here. I will always say, if you want to afford to any water, and just be a spectator and looking on. I will not show no water in your hands. I will have hold you long in the water. I will have hold you, so the water was enough. I will have hold you long in the water. And I will show you strong. Because it's a nasty, it's nasty. And see, I'm not shooting on Tobago. It's a political status. I want to political status. That people they don't let them want to put them moment in the time when you were close it. When I say close it, it's by them 4 day morning. I tell you this. I used to see you. You know you. I come this election. I come this Friday today. We need to show the country enough is enough to be front the red out signs. Right? So pull your tight pants with them. 2 men will be with them tight pants and them. I want to walk down in mind. But we'll be out there to show our disgust. This is our right. It's a nasty political MP. It's a nasty, it's a political rape. I know you. I know you should be a little bit for them. I used to be, I'm on the bench and students and you work in the shower. Wait, you tell me already. Yeah, students and your own students. You're going to be talking. You're going to sit down and you're one working in your sister office. You know, I'm about Chester. Yeah, Chester from a sheet in Belmont. You see the girl sit by Andy, boy. You see the girl just 10. So she all like, remember you should be about that again? I don't know if they record child to be a niece, you know. But the number you could have cash. Then you can put it on for you. And you Johnny come lately. When you for him, or 10, yeah, you shopping young. All you. We can't wait to get rid of all you. And you can use politically, you know. Rid of all you. it's because they're all here. They're not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? And before you all people are going to travel around and they're not going to listen.
Thank you very much. And don't forget to tell wifey I'm looking forward for she indulgence soon again. Oh boy. Lennox, I see you send just 2 things. It's 3 things I did send for you there, boy.
You have 3 on it. Check
3?
again. Yeah.
Nah, boy. I'm checking again, yeah. Peep your phone and see which one ain't come yet.
My record, the same 3. 2 mark CNN. Let me say it again because it's here on your targeting you. And 1 from TCT.
Right, well, send it over again.
Let me say it again.
Nice. Morning caller, where calling from? What's your contribution on the Gong Report this morning?
You, Andy. I saw this morning that it has reached 500 homicide.
It's 500 now, why?
I saw a DJS thing coming across my thing and it says 500. That is frightening. And I want to go back in a little history and to show how this is directly on the chest of the leadership of the PNM. You remember the day of policing? The day of policing, all Trinidadians should read that report. That was a scathing report on senior police officer, the leader of GEB, the leader of, at that point in time of Special Branch, who was Black Christopher. When a lot of them, even the TV host, the big muscle man, he was compromised, he was complicit. They were all dancing around. They were not basically coming forth with answering questions. They were silent. They did not say what they see. So at that point in time, the police service was collapsed and the leadership of the police service at that point in time was complicit. One of the recommendations of that joint...
Good morning and welcome. I'm Jesse Ramdale with Headline News here on CNC3.
It was to basically pass it on to the police commissioners and the police service commissioner to investigate thoroughly and discipline the conspirators, the people, the officers within the police service. The second division was part of it. And you know who was the leader, the chairman of that joint select committee? Was an independent that we found out later to be an independent PNM senator. You know who sits on the right hand of that committee? The current Prime Minister, KCR. And he would have seen everything, every comment made by those senior police officers who appeared not to do anything. But you see how conspiracy. At one point in time, the GEP get abandoned the Prime Minister and the Attorney General. Now, that group of alleged conspirators have been elevated to the new leadership of the police now. That tells you where the police services is collapsed. And there was a close relationship. The fact that they have been catapulted to the leadership tells you how closely aligned they are with the current government. Who inside here, for example, got chairmanship of certain state organizations, the TVOs, the Muslims, has been complicit. If people understand how you were part of it, this is something on television, warning people about what you were doing. The then president, a fella by the name of Ram. He was complicit. A fella about who carried the name of a bird.
Hold 1 minute, caller. Hold 1 minute. It's the same one you only sending back as the next CNC 31 Lennox. You're sending back the one right through 227. 227. So long as it's in 227, you know it's the wrong one. It's the same thing you're sending back. Right? I had the TTT and I just missing the next CNC 3. It wouldn't be 227. Keep your phone. Oh boy. Go ahead, caller.
206.
National frontline to understand why the president is compromised and they will not get trust. Because they were failures. The matter is when you say something, say something. In that joint select committee, they were all silent, they were protected. And remember the chairman saying police service was a big act in Trinidad and Tobago. That stands today too, because they say that in a British High Commissioner conference, and that statement was a year after they laid the joint select report in Parliament, and I suspect the then Commissioner of Police is an advisor to the current Commissioner, the fellow are talking, right? And then they bring in GT, and I am not too sure if the police friends themselves investigated that incident and pointed out the people who should be disciplined. All other people, that is why it has so much court is now provision, because the second compromise, the promotion, so that they get food in the current leadership of the Kenya Mountain Police Service. Yes, a lot of things is not investigated. They don't respond to nothing. Everything coming back here, kidnapping everything, because the leadership of the police service doesn't deserve that based on meritocracy. And I think you have some very big police officers who are under pressure because they who in the leadership cannot do nothing. Who can see what they expect to do. Leadership in any organization whatsoever. You understand what? Keep a man in the top of his organization, you don't know what's going on in his organization. He should be fired away. And I don't know why the population hasn't already fired the current leadership of the country who accept the police service to go and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nice, nice. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me just take 2-3 more calls here because I want to go into some voice notes and play some clips there that was sent. So let me give you little lines. The lines are open. The numbers to call. Let me give you the numbers. The numbers to call 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call or voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. Morning caller.
My ticket and a Metro and Tobago Central here. And I don't know what these people waiting on a general election in this country. Oh God, people pleading, they're begging, they're demanding a general election in this country, and up to now you telling me them can't come to terms and do that yet? It's hot, it's afraid so, it's afraid so. Rolling for name man, call a date and time in the country is not really fixing. It's nothing plus nothing, give you nothing. That is what the government is all about. Nothing, nothing. Just imagine. Sleep PTSD, them kind of thing. They're not even seeing about them thing. He bounced up somebody yesterday and the person complaining and saying they ain't getting no money to fix them that's on them. No, nothing. They ain't getting any money, so what really going on? Imagine a rich pilot at a protest in this country. I never see them kind of thing in my life. What are we going on? What are we waiting on against Trinidad? Boy, me and by them already in this place where we have to demand. We have to start to stop and demand for general election in this country, but we can't take no more. No more of this man. What part of that we people not understanding? And you telling me these people and his supporters still have the audacity to go in front of people place and next year for this man to come in?
Only wicked. That was telling her to look out to be celebrated, don't be an Olena and stop carrying around little children and pulling them all over the place to make a little thing through look like it's following something. These PNM supporters and them. I said, the little children are dragging all over and the people running them. You understand? The people telling them, don't go to children. You're running Olena, but go out to my place. I don't want to hear nothing. Come on here. PNM dogs dead. Yellow is the PNM nothing for the death and time in this country, and it's handy.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, bang, bang.
Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Faris Al-Rawi, says a formula to allocate funds collected from property tax to the various municipalities will be implemented by the Minister of Finance. As he responded to questions by the media on budget-related matters at the opening of the Southex Expo on Wednesday, he was asked if the funds collected within an area would be the amount given to the corporation to utilize.
It'll be a blend. Mayaro, for instance, has very few houses and a very large land area. So if you only gave them what they generated, it would be unfair. So there's going to be a formula which the Minister of Finance will work out to prorate or manage how much you get, because it would be unfair in some instances to deprive a less densely populated corporation of money, saying, well, you only have 10 houses, so that's all you're getting.
The minister said the 10% increase in the minimum wage for workers in the public sector is also welcomed as CPEP workers stand to benefit.
There are a whole cohort of those people that actually are at minimum wage, and therefore the $500 a month extra that may come to is a material and good beneficial reallocation of money. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah.
The 5% increase offer that the CPO will be making is the start of negotiations for the public sector. So remember, in the period 2014 to 2019 December, there was a 4% that most unions agreed to.
Yeah.
Now the starting offer, what the CPO will engage in negotiations with, the starting offer is 5% on top of the 4% you got already.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Jesse Ramday with headline news here on CNC3. A rat infestation forced the closure of the Presal Secondary School on Thursday as scores of parents took their children out, especially after hearing of a suspected case of leptospirosis. The Education Minister has denied the incident while assuring that the ministry is actively working on the rat problem. When contacted, Tutor President Martin Lumpkin said while a child has been hospitalized, they do not yet know if it is leptospirosis as the test results have not yet come in. Caribbean Airlines pilots protested at Piarco International Airport yesterday morning, but the demonstration did not disrupt flights in or out of the country. The pilots gathered outside the airport entrance holding placards and called on the government to settle outstanding wages and increments owed to them. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association, Jason Wickham, assured that their protest was organized in a way that it did not impact travelers entering or leaving the country.
So today, everybody here is off, I understand. They're not on duty, so no flights are affected.
No, there'll be no flights affected, and TALPA supports the flights to leave on time.
And the joint
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Nah. I want to save them thing, and we will go through on them thing in the 8 o'clock hour. On Gael, the Caribbean hour. So the Caribbean people and the people who lock on to us or will be locked on to us in Gael, well, we really have to understand and give you a breakdown while they listen to their other fellow brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago having to endure this taxing, lying, thieving, dangerous, piping, cocaine sniffing, spranging government and political party you call the PNM. Yeah. We go back to that, all of that. I just now in the 8 o'clock hour, man. Yeah. But what's your thoughts? No, let me be quiet, boy. Let me not go thinking your thoughts here yet. Let me just play some voice. No, they quick, Lennox Smith, because one thing indulge, you know. Yeah. I ain't get to play some of these voice notes there. Quick. Oh my God. Yeah, man. Nice. Thanks so much, Lennox Smith, too, for those clips on linked. If I get them unlinked, it will be very, very important.
Morning ground report and crew. What Miss Santa Cruz was saying was true. Everything she said was true, but to put it in a nutshell, PNM cannot manage. You put UNC in office in the morning and you will see the total difference of spending money. PNM cannot manage. They don't have the brain for that. Himself, we see the country have plenty of money, they could waste it. And people will say, oh yeah, but we're spending money, but we're sitting tight. They don't know about management. They know nothing about management, nothing at all. Zilk. Right. So that's why they had to get back Kamala in office. Get back Kamala and crew in office to this country to prosper. Have a good day, fellas. Calling from Kunupia.
Lennox, you're not making any sense. You just admitted that he received the $10 million was what was owing to him by Kamala and them. So now you're saying that they pay him? They just paid him what was owed to him? So again, stop misleading the people. What you're stuttering, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say. And are you aware that because of the crime, of that crime with Anand and Ram Logan and Ramdeen, Vince Nelson have been debarred from practicing law in the UK? Are you aware of that? I keep saying the UNC will vote out because of massive corruption. Look around the UNC and see who are the people still there. The very same people, and even more they bring in that were involved in the corruption. And you want the people to go back with that? Look, all the rest of you that BS, eh?
Good morning to the ground report. Let me tell all you something, fellas. The divers and them, divers that lose their lives, their family haven't received nothing, no compensation. They spend millions to do inquiries and what have you. Okay? 2-point-something billion missing. Get bad, spend money, do all kind of foolishness. And yet still, the family of the deceased divers have to fend for themselves because there's nothing for them. How wicked, evil, and I know how to put it again, this government can be. But I believe that these divers that lose their life, it was a sacrifice. They sacrificed these people's lives, these evil people.
Yeah, good morning. Hey, why you, mama guy? How kita for man?
Kenrick Passar. Morning, my brother, morning. You laugh with me, mama guy, in one Lennox, but you ain't seen for yourself for. Lennox Smith is a sweet man. Hey. I know the front of woman. She paying on tight. I just tell what's man. That was saying. I just train my daughters and them. Don't put no tight pants. I'm gonna going out there. The thing printing out a plum, or like a mango, or like a rice apple, and then you're hiding, and all them no. And where you putting that for? I just vex a woman for that. All they leave all your husband house, all your man house, or all them be hand on, all they going out there to catch man. All they pawn all your pum shots. And then all they put in all the bag, all they hide. No. One, all they don't disrespect yourselves already by all they leaving the day. All they done, Lennox Smith, I find like it disappear there. You thing looking, you are the adjust your thing there, partner.
Yes.
So don't do that.
I'm doing that now. The camera, yeah.
All right,
camera
all
gives
right.
some problems. So go ahead.
All right, well, let me just pull it out of the way there so it wouldn't be on, so people will be seeing what you're doing one time now. Day one time. I'll deal with the day, boom, 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 boom. So you fix it back.
I think I'm back on, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. All right, you went to show the chest a little more. All right, man. That is good. Nice. So anyhow, let me continue these voice notes there quick, eh, boy? Again, woman, don't disrespect yourself. Dress up in certain thing. And then when all you go out there, man interfere with all you, and then all you want to vex. The man, oh God, girl, look at that bumper, look at this. Oh, all you do that. Oh, all you pull up on yourself. And then when all you go out there, all you want to vex. You know, no. Just like how my partner Lennox Smith cannot vex if woman track him. He unbutton his shirt. He let them see the chest. He invite them to the home. Oh God, well you understand? Oh man, well then I sure break it down there, man. Yeah.
Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy, Mikey, Lennox, Newbie, and to everybody out there. I want to tell Paul Spain something. Don't come here with your lies, your half-truths, and your innuendos, and your propaganda. It was because of Stuart Young exposing what the agreement between Faris Al-Rawi and Vince Nelson in England. That is why the man was debarred. He was stripped of his King's Counsel. His all his benefits that he was getting from the company he was working with, everything was taken away from him. It was because of Stuart Young. Get your facts right.
Tell them this, Santa Cruz.
They did not want to pay the man the money, and they made the deal with him that they're going to pay him the money if he lie on Anand Ram Logan and Jerry Ramdeen. We saw all the perks. Imagine Faris was giving this man a presidential pardon to lie. Ask yourself why Faris was taken out of the AG's office and put into the suspect ministry. But you see, all they like to come here and cover up everything. Faris and a lot of them in the Attorney General office, including that Sagram Singh woman, all of them should have been in jail. Because imagine they went and make a deal and they didn't tell the DPP anything about it. Mr. Man, get facts before you come here with PNM fiction. Thanks a lot, Andy.
Nice. That what we talking about. I see Lennox raising his hand and all. That what we talking about. Just debate them, though. Get rid of he. That no. At least he's being very respectable now. He throwing out trying to mama guy. And we have people like Santa Cruz, or even if Miss Santa Cruz didn't answer, Lennox would have, or I would have, or one of you, godly research, honest people would have. All you must know PNM people is lie like the leader. So we don't know how that man, I even calling him, that man, that nanny fly, he's a liar, dressed like Rowley. Hey, I like how Miss Santa Cruz operating. I like that. Boss of a thing. Anyhow, before I go on to the other voice notes, let me say a pleasant good morning. Let me welcome our co-host again, the man himself, Mikey K. A pleasant good morning to you, my brother.
Blessed morning, my brother. Blessed morning to you, my brother Andy Pitbull Williams. Good morning to you, Lennox Smith, and of course our technical director. Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, today is the day. Our folks, how are you? How are you?
Well, the people upbeat today. Real upbeat.
In anticipation. And of course, people have their own notions. But the proof of the pudding will obviously be in the delivery from 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes, indeed. And many people, of course, already making their way to Port of Spain.
Oh, yes.
Right outside of Parliament. They're going to be there. And let me say good morning to those of you locked on, making your way on your smart devices, and of course, listening to us, and those of you on Guile TV as well. So if you're not, of course, right after we're finished, I know many of you will be heading to Port of Spain. Today, the opposition leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessa, will begin the reply. She will begin the debate. And a lot is expected, gentlemen. A lot of fire is expected. And basically, as you said, Lennox, I believe she's coming with a budget.
Yeah. It's obvious. Imbert has provided that leeway, believing that somehow we wanted to break some record that Eric William would have held, as having people stand up 4 and 5 hours to, of course, listen to, well, in his case, the diatribe that he delivered by and large on Monday last.
Yes. So we have a lot in store, Andy. We have a lot indeed. I heard you talking about Lennox Smith and his outfit. I don't know how we switched to Young and the Restless this episode, but I know a lot is going on. So this morning the people are talking. What do we have? Where we at?
Gentlemen, it's Friday, you know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is Friday.
So let me get some voice notes there, quick.
You have some? Go right ahead.
Yes.
Mr. Lacuz, you could say we want.
Oh gosh.
Mr. Nelson pleaded guilty for his crimes. There were transcripts, there was bank records, statements where he received money. So United Kingdom crazy just because Kyoto said something. They investigated to find out if it's true that just behind there. So they will, and you feel everybody does like you and the rest of the UNC supporters. To the people, the UNC followers that going on to the Red House to protest. All make sure all the name on the register so all can get paid. Right? No register, no paid. All know.
I mean, lunacy has gone berserk.
Yes, it's not Anand Ram Logan caused Mr. Nelson to get stripped. Is he on doing what he do with Paris and them? Right? And when the young went up in England, he's the one that opened the floodgate for the man to lose his license. What do you feel England bar is like Trinidad bar? They could go in a corner and drink. Up there, they're very strict. And if Nelson was involved in shenanigans up down here, he represented the bar in England. They strip him one time. And it's good for him because he was digging hole for people to fall in and he ended up falling in the hole. Now he's begging for money from Paris and they want to give him money. It's good for him. Let him take what he getting. You understand? And so this idiot caller text, who just call me and leave voice note. Yeah? To say that Anand Ram Logan calls that he's a damn fool. Anand Ram Logan, because Anand Ram Logan, yes, that he end up in the hole because he digging hole for them and he fall in it. Have a good day, Andy.
Andy, good morning. I want the population to, want Trinidad to know that pilots are being treated very badly in Trinidad. Look here in Canada, 3 weeks ago, Air Canada pilots got 35% increase in salary. They were on the verge of striking. Why is it that they don't pay the pilots within Trinidad? There's people's lives in their hand. And only these big boys want to get big fat salary and the pilots must get nothing. Trinidad pilots give plenty of money. Because they're buying new plane, they're buying this, they're buying that, and they can't pay the pilots. Man, all the pilots will strike and ground the plane. Understand? Pay the damn pilot them and pay them good.
Only send that clip to Anand Ram and Ramdeen. Let us sue that man who packed in Polo Spain. Send that clip is telling me get sued for the nasty lies against people. That is false statement the man making.
Yes, we gotta send that, you know. I'm going to tell them right there in Woodford Square, right there, Salvatore Building car park, they go find Port of Spain. Let them put a sue on he. They go see reversing Benz, Parado. There's someone that look. They go see he jumping on the bike where Cole Potman, by fame, Scotland.
Scotland by bike film. Hey, we are on the outside. We are.
You can't stop there. You have to say, and a cool pot.
And a cool pot. Anyhow, and you all don't forget to call Michael Kerr. This week here, we have to pick up those tickets, so they make sure they got a one place.
That's right.
Call Michael Kerr at 4940938, 4940938. Or make sure and call Lennox Smith to pick up your to get your tickets. Make sure you get a ticket at 337-6940. 337-6940. And those of you that I ain't checked nobody yet to pick up a ticket, but I know about 5, 6, 7 only call me. Today, make sure and put things in place where I will come and pick up, drop those tickets and collect those funding. And then we will lay out to you by then where is the pickup points for those.
That's right. We have pickup on the east-west corridor from Arima, Tunapuna. We have in Central. We have in Port of Spain. We are working right now south. So anybody who volunteer, the driver will just come with all of the lunches, and you can just volunteer, please, your time, and just distribute these lunches. These Patriot meals. So please get in contact with us. Remember, send via WhatsApp 366-3053, 337-6940, and 494-0938. And also, good morning to the Gael family. We are live on Gael TV. So our CARICOM brothers and sisters, good morning. You know the show. Many of you are asking, yes, we are here in Trinidad and Tobago. So yes, good morning. Go ahead, Andy.
Nice. So now let me get down to business of what's going on in Trinidad here for those of you that are looking onto us and Gael. And as Mikey said, that's Mikey K. And the lower part in the yellow. And then on the top part, the new sweet man, not the big word man anymore, it's Lennox Smith. Yes, and then I'm yours truly, the Pitbull of radio. But take a hint for those in Trinidad and Tobago and all that ain't get the news yet. And what's going on with us here?
Good morning and welcome. I'm Jesse Ramday with headline news here on CNC3. A rat infestation forced the closure of the Presal Secondary School on Thursday as scores of parents took their children out, especially after hearing of a suspected case of leptospirosis. The Education Minister has denied the incident while assuring that the ministry is actively working on the rat problem. When contacted, Tutor President Martin Lumpkin said while a child has been hospitalized, they do not yet know if it is leptospirosis as the test results have not yet come in. Caribbean Airlines pilots protested at Piarco International Airport yesterday morning, but the demonstration did not disrupt flights in or out of the country. The pilots gathered outside the airport entrance holding placards and called on the government to settle outstanding wages and increments owed to them. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association, Jason Wickham, assured that their protest was organized in a way that it did not impact travelers entering or leaving the country.
So today, everybody here is off, I understand. They're not on duty, so no flights are affected.
No, there'll be no flights affected, and TALPA supports the flights to leave on time.
And the Joint Trade Union Movement, which represents 50,000 members across 11 unions, is rejecting the government's 5% wage increase offered to public sector workers during Monday's budget. JTM President Ansel Roger says the government has abandoned collective bargaining by announcing the 5% offer for 2020 to 2022 without having prior negotiations with recognized majority unions. He sought to remind the public that unions would submit a research-based proposal to the CPO before they submit a counter-proposal to initiate collective bargaining. He says the finance minister's offer is contemptuous, disrespectful and a disregard for the process, and is warning the population not to fall for it. while those risks still facing interruptions to its operations because of industrial action affecting certain key areas, including cargo processing. On Wednesday, workers walked off the port, citing concerns about health and safety and outstanding wage negotiations. The Port Authority confirmed vessel operations weren't taking place, but minimal deliveries were still being facilitated through the container terminal. President General of the Seamen and Waterfront Workers Trade Union, Michael Anisset, confirmed operations were not back to normal. A Kufa couple has been awarded $500,000 in damages after they won their malicious prosecution and false imprisonment lawsuit against the state. In his ruling, Justice Ricky Rahim found the police had fabricated evidence against Kevin and Natalia Baru, who was 5 months pregnant at the time. In May 2016, the couple's home was searched twice in 3 days, and they were subsequently charged with marijuana possession, a charge that was then dismissed in April 2018. The judge found that officers abused their power and acted in a high-handed manner, and a strong message has to be sent against such actions. Justice Ryan says the case was one of the worst abuse of power to have come before him. He awarded general and exemplary damages, interest and legal costs to the Barrows, who were presented by attorney Abdel Mohammed. A recent Police Complaints Authority report into domestic violence has detailed shocking types of abuse perpetrated by law enforcement officers against their spouse. Among the disturbing allegations chronicled was an officer repeatedly kicking his 25-year-old former spouse in her vagina following an altercation. One woman also complained that her spouse had slapped and harassed her at her workplace. A police officer was also accused of threatening to kill his partner, threw acid on her and kidnapped their daughter. The findings, based on data collected over a 9-year period, not only raised concerns about accountability but also oversight in the police's response to domestic violence. The media ambassador for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, acting ASP Rajesh Lal, stated that all reports of domestic violence are treated with urgency and were thoroughly investigated.
Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Faris Al-Rawi says a formula to allocate funds collected from property tax to the various municipalities will be implemented by the Minister of Finance. As he responded to questions by the media on budget-related matters at the opening of the Southex Expo on Wednesday, he was asked if the funds collected within an area would be the amount given to the corporation to utilize.
It'll be a blend. My Arrow, for instance, has very few houses and a very large land area. So if you only gave them what they generated, it would be unfair. So there's going to be a formula which the Minister of Finance will work out to prorate or manage how much you get, because it would be unfair in some instances to deprive a less densely populated corporation of money, saying, well, you only have 10 houses, so that's all you're getting.
The minister said the 10% increase in the minimum wage for workers in the public sector is also welcomed as CPEP workers stand to benefit.
There are a whole cohort of those people that actually are at minimum wage, and therefore the $500 a month extra that may come to is a material and good beneficial reallocation of money. So I'm very happy for that. Yeah. The 5% increase offer that the CPO will be making is the start of negotiations for the public sector. So remember, in the period 2014 to 2019 December, there was a 4% that most unions agreed to. Yeah. Now the starting offer, what the CPO will engage in negotiations with, the starting offer is 5% on top of the 4% you got already. Yeah.
Oh boy. Nice. Well, Mikey,
thank you. Yeah, pilots.
Property
and then you had this guy talking here, Mr. GQ, talking at the end there. I don't know why. Why? You know, he wants to be every role. The Minister of Local Development, he wants to be Attorney General, he wants to be Minister of Finance. And he's one of the individuals that Imber don't take seriously at all. You know, he's like, what are you talking about? Maybe he talked some nonsense sometime back when they first came in Lennox about some money issue, and Imbert himself was like, you don't know why GQ opened his mouth and talk. So he's saying they're starting at 5. You know, what they're trying to tell you, there's 9%. They start the year. They're now willing to negotiate at 5. Start at 5. Because he said he put it as many settled for the 4. So what you'll be getting is the 5% on top of the 4%. So,
wow.
Boy, I tell you, I tell you.
I think it is a continuation of the misstep, the mismanagement, the misappropriation of policies, programs, and the inability, of course, to articulate. Because we had said on the ground report, for example, when the issue of the property tax and the distribution thereof, we identified that a place like Port of Spain, as opposed to a place of Mayaro, and if it is, we are talking property, it means that you will have a more intensification, a much more densely populated area of certain corporations than others that are in the rural. How do you reconcile that? Because at the time, they were saying that the monies collected from these various properties will go to the corporation, and that will form the bulk of the financing apparatus of these corporations. Now we are hearing a different story, akin more to what we were saying, that you have to find a way now to, of course, reconcile that discrepancy. Because if you have 2 buildings alone in a particular corporation, I'm just using it as an example, and you have 50 buildings in another, is it that that corporation with the 50 buildings will get all that money accrued from property tax, and the one with 2 would have, of course, to settle for the monies coming from 2 buildings or two property? We said that, and we said it was not implementable. And of course, what he is doing now is making adjustments to what we would have said, that this government is incapable of thinking things through. Just as, of course, the that anti-gang act that they have brought, we told them that it can't work, it has not worked and will not work. And Kamala was correct not to, of course, engage after the sunset clause was met and terminated.
Let me just take this call here.
Go ahead, morning.
Yes, good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, and Mike.
Good morning.
The bigger question is, so the government make me run to property tax and now can I make a formula?
Yeah, that's what he's telling us. And have to do it. It's futuristic still. It has to do it. It didn't do it.
So I do bigger question to me, but not I really call for Lennox. That's what I ask you, but Lennox, remember that interview.
You hear him clearly?
3 days money.
No, I didn't get you earlier. I didn't get you earlier.
We didn't hear any clear. Earlier we didn't hear. So if you could start over there, please.
Okay. You all remember Mikey or Andy or Lennox, Joanna Rambaran had an interview when he was dispelling the conversation about the 3 days money. You remember that?
Yes.
You remember that interview?
Yes, I remember that, yes.
Right, Lennox. Remember the first part of the interview is when he said the finance minister asked him about the Clico assets. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it coincidence that he's selling it now? Or is something it line up there now that he knew what he's doing? That's what I wanted to ask this morning about that.
Yeah, no problem. Rambaran said in the interview with us that Imbert was only interested in the Clico assets when they first met. Because coming out of that conversation, Dr. Rowley in various fora said that the country had only 4 days of monies to manage the affairs of the country. Of course, he was referring to the overdraft as opposed to actual money. But the sycophants and them, that was let's say targeting the sycophants to believe the fantasy that the UNC left the country without money. Understand that. But later down the road, having to report to the IMF and the World Bank and other institutions where they are going to in order to borrow money, they had to speak the truth. And the truth has come out from their own mouths, saying that they met 10 billion in reserves, 5 over 5 in the Heritage and Civilization Fund, and the country in the various banks, private banks, etc., had excess liquidity of about 5 billion. In other words, Trinidad and Tobago could not have qualified whether they wanted to or not to go to the IMF in 2015 when Rowley and they came into office. But it was a total and absolute lie. And notice, of course, the sycophant that calls in from time to time talks about corruption, but cannot specify and identify, unless he gets an opportunity, of course, to piggyback on something that somebody like myself might have said, but of course misrepresenting it.
Nice. Anything, Mikey, will call it? You want to go ahead?
The last thing, we need to keep the eyes on who is going to buy his assets. That's all I want you to do. It's all the morning.
Nice. And we also need to keep in mind what it is you mentioned there, which is they're now looking for a formula after the property tax.
Yeah,
so all they ain't have a formula how that money is spending. All they're taking people money. Some people houses. How will they get the value of some people houses? Come on now, man. And then looking at that formula.
That's right.
And people in Trinidad and Tobago just sit down there doing nothing about this, boy.
That's right.
After you said it is a new dispensation, a new paradigm shift in funding for regional corporations, and we told them that it was an asinine decision, but of course it was touted to actually manifest, bring into being a position that they took contrary to the position they have hold now before the 2015 elections, which is that the tax, they agreed with Kamala Prasad Bissessa, they agreed with Prakash and the Axitas policy, but when they come into government, they have reversed it and use, of course, the platform of so-called local government reform to have the population buy into that lie, that deception, and now they find themselves not being able to implement it in the way that they have espoused or were optimistic about during the course of the local government elections in particular.
Hold there. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the Ground Report, the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago on a morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Mr. Gobin calling from Florida. I just want to set the record straight. I just woke up, so I don't know if Mr. Lennox made the correction. I am the gentleman who purchased the ticket. I am from Florida, United States, not from Canada. I heard Ms. Woodbrook, I heard Lennox who mentioned the caller from Canada. But just to set the record straight, I'm here in Florida, living in Florida, so is the gentleman from Florida. I do wish my Canadian friends could purchase some ticket as well. But I only call to set the record straight, all right?
Yeah,
thank you, guys.
All right.
Very
Thank you.
ridiculous. He called feverishly.
Ramnarine. Mr. Ramnarine, don't forget to call either Lennox, call me, or call Mikey K, Mr. Ramnarine out there in Canada. Mr. Ramnarine is a diehard ground.
Oh, in Canada. He's in Canada. Mr. Ramnarine is in Canada.
Yes,
yes. I want to thank that caller that called in there. He just, what he did there, he averted, he was able to make sure we don't have a ground report geopolitical clash. And that's beautiful. Yeah, he's in Florida. And he is not in Canada. In Canada. So that's beautiful.
That came up because Mr. Ramnarine thought that I was cutting him off by the gentleman from Canada, where you wasn't hearing him good or Lennox wasn't hearing him good.
Right. That's our friend.
Lennox was trying to tell him that no way, we will never cut you off because he's a future purchaser of tickets.
Right.
Yes. So that's how that goes.
And of course, in that statement, you don't know if it's an olive branch or a bouquet of ivy of a detrimental nature, but by saying that I trust that my Canadian friends do like me. Well done, sir. Well done.
Well done. So the challenge is out there. And those of you in Europe as well, in Africa, wherever you are across the continent, please, you participate as well. If you're not here to have the Patriot meal, it's for a worthy cause, buy tickets, and we'll give it to the people who really need it the most. So thank you so much again.
Nice. Let's go to the lines, man.
Go ahead, man.
We're calling from what's your contribution on the #1 program, the Ground Report?
Morning, Andy Felix.
Hey, Felix, you had to come to you see I said it earlier. So don't come and say, Andy, I calling you and you ain't there. Yesterday I wasn't feeling too well, partner. Today after the program, call me. Let me know my tickets here. I had to come and drop and however, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now you.
All right. Yeah. My thing this morning is that in both of them we're doing like what that man saying the debate by Trump, like they have a concept of a plan.
Boy, them now working with a formula. They may know how to spend any money.
After the fact.
Imagine that.
Yeah, concept. Yeah.
All right, Felix, and anybody else that did call me, and I was to get back in contact with you all, dealing with meeting you all to get for the tickets. Don't forget, after the program, you all call me. Morning call, where are you calling from? Welcome to the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning. Good morning, Andy, Mikey, Lennox, Newbie, and to everybody out there. And I sent the voice saying, I'm going to say this again. I want to thank everybody for all their birthday wishes, blessings, and greetings. Andy, we heard Joala Rambaran saying that Colm Imbert was only interested in everything that was said about what Rowley and them was going to do, it has come to pass. Maybe they went about it in 2015 the wrong way, but people didn't want to listen because they were so determined to listen to Rowley lies, half-truths, and innuendos, and not what Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa was telling them. Look at today it has come to pass, right? Andy, I just want to read something for you. Fumes that Kamala left in the treasury, 1.5 billion to be collected from the Phoenix Park IPO, 3.8 billion in TGU capital payment, millions in payment from Clico, US 10.5 billion in Forex, it was 8 billion in HSF, 25 billion in NIS, 26 billion and more in accounts and another thing. And we heard from the press conference from Imbert Mount that every ministry had an unspent balance of $500 million, including the sports ministry, and what they were going to take that money to do with it. He said they were going to fix the aquatic center, 150, I rounded it off, 150 million to fix the aquatic center and to fix recreation grounds across the country. Have you all heard anything being done like that? Where did that $150 million go? We would like to know.
And all the recreation grounds, and make sure Chukin and all, and since that, all the recreation grounds in this country, in a mess, is bush growing up in all.
That's right. That's right.
That's right, Andy. What did they do with that 150 million? Give UNC, don't give UNC no chance. But I want to tell them, all you didn't listen in 2015, all you didn't listen in 2020, listen in 2025 now. This is about the property tax. This is about cashless. This is about the Revenue Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, right? This is our future, and all you don't listen to those PNMIs. Do not listen to Michaela Pandey, because I understand that it is alleged that our PNM Finance is financing her campaign to keep Rowley in office, because you know you love Rowley so much, and like how Hawk love mud.
And that PNM Finance name start with S.
I don't know. I just said, but they tell me that the man love Rowley like how Hog love mud, right? They love that the man love, right? And they come in with a whole set of nonsense and are begging the people, this is our future, do not listen to them, right? We have to stand our grounds now, and all who want to say that Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa rocking like a boat, and if she can't stand up to read the budget today, well, all they will get a surprise, the shock of all your life. She's well prepared for that budget today. She's not going to take 5.5 hours, right, to read and answer the nonsense Imbert put out there. No, she's going to take maybe 2.5 for the most to expose everything and to tell the people the facts that are going on in this country. And Andy, before I leave, I want to say something. It's about time somebody say something now. I want to tell Arima, grow up. Stop acting like a damn child, right? And behave your damn self. Yesterday, her bad behavior on TC and Heavy Chat because they wished me happy birthday yesterday. That woman got on like a schoolyard bully, right? That a teenager jealous about something and got on really, really bad. I was shocked and all. Miss Arima, you are too old for that. Behave yourself, right? And start behaving like an adult and not a child. Grow up. Thanks a lot, Andy.
Nice. Well, I ain't see she for the morning, eh? So I don't know if one of them directors and them blocker or banner, but I ain't see her for the morning yet. Oh,
Well
boy.
said, well said. That's what we're talking about. Go
What
ahead.
are we talking about? Morning caller.
Andy, I want to know, is anybody going on with the parliament today, this morning?
Yeah, but last week we did. This week we
Yes,
did.
yes, that's right. Okay, we can't miss that. They go in again. This is it. This is the budget debate.
We ain't know yet. Remember, we had a wrap-up program who coming from far. It had things that
I'm getting ready. I'm going on just now.
Very good. So all of you that are locked on, make sure go down. Make sure go down there at the Parliament, at the Red House. Make sure you all go down there.
Yes, I can say supposed to be there, I think.
Yes.
So I'll be down there. I want to see my
Nice. Your phone real working, girl. You get that jumbie out of the phone. That is good.
Yes, jumbie and then.
All right. Thank you very much. Oh boy. Let me people and see any other calls. Only make it short and sweeter. And if all the caller already give other people a chance. Morning caller. Welcome to the Ground Report.
Good morning, Ground Report. Andy Williams, Michael, Kurt, Lennox. The divers and them, right? They spend a lot of money, millions of dollars on inquiries and all that. And up to now, the family ain't received 1 cent in compensation. And money being spent left, right, and center. But coming back to the divers, that I believe that is a sacrifice, a human sacrifice they made. And a lot of that taking place in the country right now. That a lot of life being lost due to the sacrificial, that's what the government are doing right now. They're sacrificing the life of the people. So that is why we're having a lot of death and a lot of young people die. Take care.
Yes, this government is our OBA government, the sacrificing people life. Me and Line Rice saying a prime minister, he say he went Lekoto and walk out OBA from there and watch what happened to the man and all them things. And that same prime minister, because of the good work that the Ground Report is doing, promise the people at Trinidad and Tobago, what kind of program is this that they have on the radio? It's a dirty, filthy program and it don't supposed to be on the airwave. Boom, we end up off radio. Now we come on TV. I want to see what this man, this prime minister, had to say now.
I was going to the Oval one evening and I stopped as it was drizzling and a radio station was on. And on that radio station, which wasn't my favorite station, but it was on in the vehicle I was in, a most vulgar and outrageous radio program was on the airwaves called the Ground Report. You all remember that? In that report, it was the nastiest, dirty. As a matter of fact, what caught my attention was how filthy the program was on our airwaves. And I was asking myself, how could this be permitted on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago, election or no election? And it was all about me and my father and my mother and this, and I had raped this and I had done that, and the Ground Report. They want to know what the plan is? The plan is to put an end to this.
Gentlemen, I want to direct your attention to an observation that I've made. issue of leptospirosis outbreak in that school environment or whatever it is, of course, denied by the minister, it reinforces, of course, the question of the ministers of debt. You know, the Minister of National Security and the Minister of Health is considered ministers of debt by the people in this administration. But the analysis, the doctors are saying they are not certain if it is leptospirosis. Guess why? Because of the presence as well of dengue. So it could have been dengue as well. So they are not certain. You know, if it was one disease alone that was prevalent, at the same, you know, it was easy to diagnose. Well, listen, it is lepto. Even though the symptoms may be different, but the fact that you have dengue as well, that recently took the life of a 90-year-old, shows the level of should I say, complexity inside of the health system of Trinidad and Tobago, where you have two prevalent diseases, and based on where the infection took place, you are in doubt as to whether it is one as opposed and or distinct from the other. I mean, this is never before we have that kind of situation in our health care system.
Yeah, well, I think we need to look at it really and truly. You're so correct, Lennox, and I am quite certain that this will now fall under emergency work because that's what the $19 million is there for.
That's right.
So you did no work whatsoever on these schools. You simply celebrated the return of children into these death traps, and yet still now we're hearing about these slush funds. So the $19 million is going to be placed there. You see, we can no longer be held ransom by these people who are engineered and driven by hate and race and all of that. These people are very deceitful people, you know. These people, and when you talk about the doctors of death, you have to talk about their accomplices as well, because they can't just be observers to what's going on here. These people have to be accomplices. They have to be part and parcel of the blame. Those who are going around there trying to defend the indefensible, they have to be held. PNM people have to be held responsible. These are the same people who will tell you if this was happening under Kamala, they don't take to the streets already. These are the same people who will tell you that. These were the same people in the heights of the pandemic who was supposed to get magic hampers from the PNM, and they get just one little something and had to wait for it. These are the same people who twist them out to say, you know, if Kamala was there, we'd have get help already. It's the same PNM people, the same PNM vendors on Charlotte Street who know which lawyer to go to, whether, and for sure it's some UNC lawyer, when the same PNM administration coming down hard on them, and they can't go out there and ply their trade and make a living. These are deceitful people. These are sick individuals. So when you hear Porter Spain and them talking and spewing that kind of toxic nonsense, you shouldn't be surprised. They have a job to do. You think these are right-thinking people? You think these are logical-thinking people? You think these people give a damn about Trinidad and Tobago? They don't care. And we need to stop waiting and hoping that something happens magical with these people, that they're going to wake up, and we know. We, the true patriots, know already. And we know what we have to do. Stop waiting on them. Don't even comment on them. We have to be laser focused. This is about ensuring good governance and us living better. We have to live better. We must live better. We're going out there to make sure we live better. And that is where the focus should be. These are wicked people.
And it is.
Imagine that.
Listening to all of that. And what's your contribution on the number one program, the Ground Report, this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Barataria.
Hey, Barataria. Go ahead, Barataria.
Yeah, you were still speaking just now, so I was listening to what the guy, Lennox, said. Anyway.
Mikey, that one was Mikey talking, but go ahead.
Mikey, you were waving something that the Prime Minister had in his hand, and you were showing us that video, and when it stopped, you all went and talked. So I wanted to find out what it is, why it is they were saying the Ground Report, why it is the Prime Minister was talking about the Ground Report and some kind of, what is that about?
All right.
Why are they calling your name?
Mikey, You want to explain why the Prime Minister so much on the report and what makes us number one? You go ahead, Mike.
Well, I think you could gather from what we played there that yes, there's an obsession. I mean, anybody who has to come out of a vehicle and shelter in the rain, you have to say that the program has had quite an effect on him. And what my colleague was saying there as well is that had it not been for the ground report, many of these policies would have been done a lot more boldly rather than trying to bring it across like a thief in the night. Okay? But the issue here, madam, he had to call us out because he felt offended, he felt hurt, and he realized that the only source of facts that was coming and still coming out strong is the ground report. So we'll always be a target. We will always be a target, madam.
And
So what if my colleague is...
Let me
What my
add,
colleague is
madam,
Madam,
add that for the better part of 3 to 4 years.
I actually wanted to interact.
You want to interact? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say...
I wasn't hearing the Prime Minister properly. The video was distorted. That's what I was trying to tell you. But he had a paper in his hand, and he said something, oh, this is for it. So I wanted to know if you all were in trouble.
No.
That
occurred
that was
one of his first meeting when he came into government.
Yes, he mentioned
after.
that.
But we were at the forefront. We were at the forefront, and subsequently for the past 3 or 4 years until recently, were asking him to come and account to the population as to his activities back in Tobago when the person who was his first son, his first child, was 17 years of age. Yes, 17 years of age.
She would have to be she would have to be new to the program. So welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
So
yes, I didn't
that was
a long time ago.
Yeah, that was the prelude. Yeah. So he was
could
offended.
I offer a suggestion?
Yes. You go ahead.
Now, instead of for me who don't know and seen all these things, listen. Today is the debate on the budget. And why do besides walking in the hut, going down there, is to listen, sit down with your sip, whatever you want to sip, your little coffee or whatever you drink, and listen in your home to Parliament station and take in all what they have to say, word for word. You understand? So there you'll be more informed when you're ready to hit them. You know it instead of clips. Because I don't understand some of the clips just be distorted and all kind of things, right? But it's a good thing. I'm just offering that suggestion because I sit in front of my TV. I ain't going out nowhere. Because when I hear what they have to say, no, I'm not telling people not to go out there. You could go and exercise that. But when I'm ready to hit them, I have to hear word for word what everybody's saying from Kamala, and she will be on and the rest. Because it's going on for a whole week, and the debates have to be everybody.
Yes.
Right, and it's not one day.
Everybody would make their input, but
people to
and I agree with you on that point, madam. But the clips also, of course, drive home the point. So we do have to take out the meat of it and keep reminding people and sharing this information with them. So that in itself assists to get the information out there. So in case you miss something, because many people will say, I didn't hear when he said that, or I didn't hear when she made that comment. I'm glad that at least we have it there, it's recorded. And many people, of course, will tell us, play that clip, just to remind the people. So I understand you're new to the program, but yes, so we do get the information out there.
And I just want to add, ma'am, that we
applaud. Out there.
Yes.
We
so
applaud.
Thanks so much, Artaria. Thanks so much for the.
I want to add, gentlemen, that I applaud her attempt at objectivity, but only to inform as well that those who would be trekking their way or finding their way down to the Parliament would have known what you probably don't know as yet. So they don't need much more flooding as you would, because of course people not only learn at different stages, but I think in the case of the availability of and access to this program, whilst it was there almost from time immemorial, you have just tuned in, and therefore, of course, a larger amount of explanation is required as opposed and your assimilation, as you rightly said. But your objectivity, I think, in such a situation is commendable.
I'm listening. That is why I'm listening to you now.
Yes.
Yes, I
But
realize that.
on,
Yes.
While you're on, let me do my favor, because everybody is saying it clean, but you say you look onto it on Dial, the channel, on Dial, right? You're there?
Are you streaming?
Looking at it.
Well, tell me if it's still song. Tell me if it's still song distorted, because we want to make sure that the clips coming across.
Let me hear.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me hear.
Going to the Oval one evening, and I stopped as it was drizzling, and a radio station was on. And on that radio station, which wasn't my favorite station, but it was on.
It's clear. I'm hearing it very clear.
The most vulgar,
yes, I'm hearing.
Outrageous
radio
program
Okay.
of the weeks. Called Ground Report.
And you're listening. Yeah, listen. She's listening on the stream, or
We're listening on the stream. We're listening on Dial.
I'm listening on the stream.
All right.
Listen.
Right. For those of you that are locked on to us on Dial, you all just let us know that you all are getting it clear, because we want to make sure our clips coming across clear as crystal.
He's so excited. I called you. I thought I like to see my real thing. I thought he jumped. I thought he there now. Because I like the report. Tell me, I don't like to hear old things. Even if I did not hear it, I'm up to date with today's thing.
Well, this
kind of
they come like what was new to you, because it's the first time you hear it. Yeah. But thanks so much, and please continue to lock on to the Ground Report and let other people know.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Baratari, and don't forget, if you don't forget, you can call me 366-3053 in case you want at least 2, 3, 4 tickets now. Yeah, barbecue tickets.
3053.
Yeah, it's right on the screen there. 366-3053. Right. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Barter. Appreciate that.
I will support.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Oh boy, that is so good.
You have voice notes, or somebody's on the line?
Let me play some voice notes.
Well, Andy, don't forget, I have the freedom of information that I want to share with the national community.
Yes. So for those of you who lock on to us, when we end at 9 on Dial, you all could always continue locking on, listening to us on Real Media TT Facebook, Real Media TT YouTube, Corridor Transformation YouTube, Love Until on Facebook, and Workers' Right platform. Right, so you all could always continue, but don't forget next week to you the Dial. Next week, please God, we will be live on Dial from 8 to 10. 2 hours. Okay?
2 hours. So
you all wouldn't be missing nothing at all. All you have to do is just let everybody know. Let everybody know where they will get the Ground Report. Nice. Let me deal up with these voice notes and then quick. Let's deal with these voice notes. Oh boy. Oh. Nice.
Want it?
Nah. All right, caller, quick. Like the know you're going to talk nonsense. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning to the Ground Report and other teams, and that is why we want foreign observers for the 2025 general election. Mikey, Lennox, Andy, and all the directors of the channel, to all the listeners of the Caribbean and the wider world. Now, I would like to ask 2 questions. Where the $100 million Mr. Porter staying for this special road works to fix roads? Where that money going? Where's the man Baba Green fixing no truck? He spent $1 million for. He buy a truck. Get a pothole, rapid response to fix the pothole on there. Mr. Porter staying the fake oil. Then the Prime Minister, your leader or your political party, talk about that is a friend and tell them don't touch him and don't say nothing. And what I say is the truth. And then you see where it end up. and everybody know as night follow day, it is a lie. That is not corruption. And if you want a little more corruption, yeah, then we hear there's a man in Tobago had a quarry crushing stones, yeah, and the explosive he was using, he didn't have a license, and then just make a phone call, short young, to make a phone call to get the proper documentation. That is not corruption. Eh? There is never excavated in Newsday that somebody was digging stones again. Eh? And when they get the license, before or after, and already the Integrity Commission, where is the investigating arm of it? And why they're dropping certain cases? Eh? That is not corruption, Mr. Porter-Spain. But as Mikey say, the point I wanted to tell you, look what others follow. A man in a car, he come out to shelter the rain, but he listening to the radio station and all about rain. He misleading all it from day one and giving all the tutu and call it molasses and sugar cake and all the following that. And when you're from Vincent Nelson and Alice Harari, is to fabricate wrong evidence. That he wanted a sealed document to submit with no evidence in it. And when Vincent Nelson now, the case fall through in Trinidad, he go and shut up and say that Vincent Nelson was alluded and was corrupt practices not to pay. You see the mafia in the PNM, they want to take on when time to pay people the money for doing the dirty bit instead of getting at them. So Mr. Porter-Spain, you very living large and nice and happy. But in 10 years, how Porter-Spain developed? And what is the economic prosperity in the lavas lower down the road, better and greener and more attractive than the Porter-Spain surrounding. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. And I need to play that video once more because it have people that really send message telling me about echo. I think I see what was the problem, right? Some of
All right.
So let me play it. And I want you on whoever on dial the channel, only just let me know if you're hearing it clean and clear. Those of you that on Real Media TT or on Corridor Transformation, just write up for us there on the chat. If it is you only hearing it loud and clear. And you can always WhatsApp me at 3683053 for anybody that is locked on to us and Gael. Please, I just want to know that the video coming across live on Gael. We have no room for errors anymore. Remember that.
I was going to the Oval one evening and I stopped as it was drizzling and a radio station was on. And on that radio station, which wasn't my favorite station, but it was on in the vehicle I was in, a most vulgar and outrageous radio program was on the airwaves called The Ground Report. You all remember that? In that report, it was the nastiest, dirty. As a matter of fact, what caught my attention was how filthy the program was on our airwaves. And I was asking myself, how could this be permitted on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago, election or no election? And it was all about me and my father and my mother and this, and I had raped this, and I had done that, and the Ground Report. They want to know what the plan is? The plan is to put an end to this.
Right, Nadira say yes, it's sounding good. On a dial, somebody out there, but that is the YouTube, some of you on the YouTube, or they may be getting that based on what country you all may be from. Right, but so far on dial, they say it's coming across excellent. Look, Facebook is saying Elizabeth say it's coming across excellent.
Yes, getting.
Onika, you getting... on Nadira, Onika, you hear how you hearing it on YouTube? Right, everybody in it good. So that's that echo coming from you. The all set itself out there, right? That's where the echo coming from. That's all set. Mikey, something you wanted to say? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's the feedback. You're on point. So we're getting that feedback. And again, at 10 a.m. today, the leader of the opposition will respond to the budget presentation. So at 10 a.m. today, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa SC will be responding to the budget presentation. And what's interesting too as well, gentlemen, JTAM is back and they are very upset GTM not surprised by government's rejection of latest refinery bid. The Joint Trade Union Movement, GTM, says it is not surprised by the government's decision not to shortlist the Oilfield Workers Trade Union's Patriotic Energies Company Limited for the purchase of the mothballed Petrotrin refinery in Pointe-à-Pierre. So they have chosen bidders inside CRO Consortium. You have DR Commodities Limited. You have Chemitech. You have all these different companies, but they have been sidelined once again, which is GTM and their entity. Ah, boy,
Is that
fellas.
a surprise, gentlemen, to any one of you?
Well, I think for them, because they're still talking about it.
No, but any one of us, any one of you, are you
No,
surprised?
no, that Roger and them, and they're surprised. We didn't saddle that lion. So, you know what I mean? But I mean, people live and learn, and hopefully they'll learn enough to understand that the only option, the only alternative, the only way that we are going to live better, and for them fellas to even play a role, is, of course, the United National Congress. Don't let me play games here. It is the UNC. Nobody else can come up with no 18 or 19 to come nowhere, you know. You could say what you want, you know. Too short of forming a government. As a matter of fact, 2,530. That alone should tell you something. Some of them who talking don't even have 2,000 members. And I'm not here to debate that. The issue here is we want to live better. We can't waste time. All this small talk and old talk, it is about the UNC, the United National Congress. You could suck your teeth, you could swell up your face, you could push out your mouth. I don't care. It is the UNC, led by Kamala Prasad Bissassa. Simple as that.
And,
Nice.
and we,
I'm
must
up
take
there, boys.
note, we must take note as well that the Nigerian firm, it was our reporter here, very accomplished investigator, told us that there's some iniquitous history about that organization, but Rowley and they seem to gravitate to questionable entities. We saw that with, of course, recently with the fella who Gandal that came from India and find himself, of course, in the office of the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister taking a photo up with him. So we ought not to be surprised there is some kind of sinister act in all of that, and of course perpetrating as though it's something objective, and that of course these people were chosen or shortlisted from a number, and at the end of the day we would see that it was really selective tendering, where the government would have already identified their own. What they know for sure, Patriotic would not have succumbed to their nonsense, and so they prefer to go outside, away from, of course, the prying eyes of locals and the opposition. But they have another thing
That is
coming.
so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Where you calling from? And welcome to the #1 program, The Ground Report.
Hey, Barry. It is another perfect example with Jacob and Patriotic and things where voting has consequences. Now, it wouldn't have been this predicament, even the country wouldn't have been this predicament with the closing of Petrotrin. But they chose to support the ballhead man. They chose to support, hug him up and walk the streets and drag our effigy of the opposition, the Prime Minister at that time, to put out our government. They make all kind of statement that is the mama ball, mama guy and all kind of things. And the same mama guy now is the ones who they're holding their last straw in hoping that now they could have any semblance of existence. So this is a wake-up lesson again for the people like the big mouth one in Bamboo, Karazan, the Goatman, Abdullah, DJ, all the people have a little influence in the country. The only person who is thinking a little sensible now is Philip Alexander. That voting have consequences. Look where we are today. Now, the budget will be debated. We will hear and listen to what the opposition leader have to say. And yes, it's going to pass in Parliament. And that is the budget that would be managing the country for the next year. But the predicament of how the country going where murder rate is concerned, looking like we're going to be hitting about 700 murders for this year. Now, I'm sure a lot of the people who voted for the PNM said already, and who was hoping that their life would be prosperous, their life would be safe, they would live to see their old age or gain a pension and all kind of things. Right now they are deceased, they don't have that opportunity. Some of them now still would end up that same way because the predicament that we're going on at 6 to 700. Just yes, between yesterday and day before yesterday and today, it's about 8 murders in the country. Violent murders. We are hearing nothing about Fitzgerald and we are hearing nothing about Rowley, Notisman Rowley. So, again, we're coming up to face a situation where a general election will be called next year. Voting have consequences. You may not like the person, you may not agree with everything that they have to say, but you have 10 years of example, 10 years of fact, 10 years of feeling the pain of what this government has brought to you, your family, and country. Make the decision, and the final result is counted, and who forms the government, live with the consequences. Don't come and complain and quarrel and thing again. You understand? They say, when a little child, if you touch fire and it gets burned, you don't go back and touch steel. All you touch it fire, all your whole life is Eric Williams. All you get burned, all you get black, all you turn to coal, all you turn to ashes, and like all you do it, all you just keep on jumping into the fire. And then, where's the who you blaming to extinguish the fire? I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that. All you do is what? Gentlemen, have a good morning and enjoy the rest of the program. Be safe.
Thank you. Be safe as well, my brother. Be safe as well.
Thank you.
Ah, boy.
Oh boy, let me play
You couldn't say it better. Go ahead, Andy.
Let me play a voice note him.
Blessed good morning. This is Point 14 Payal. And greetings to the ground report crew and to all listeners. While all is being said and done, the question to date is, and this is coming from very, very good sources, and as I often say, I deal internationally. There are certain ministers that are in that parliament who have some offshore banking account. And if you hear the kind of money that is in those accounts, if you were to add up their salary from since they became a minister or even a member of parliament, you all will be shocked. That is why I said on my program that the CIA and the FBI have some things to do, and it will be done. And I'm saying it this way. Many of them will try to run from this country, but they could run, but they cannot hide. They must give account of all that money that is piled up in their account. Where did they get it from? And is that?
Wow. And is that?
Wow. And is that? Wow.
Yes.
Serious accusations,
boy. Yeah, boy.
Serious accusations.
Yeah,
but of course, again, not surprising. One just has to watch at Balizé House and have to ask the question where you get over $100 million from, having regard to the fact that you said as head of the organization, Prime Minister now Rowley, that you met an organization that was bankrupt, owing of course over $5 million. How come in 9 years you are able to build a monstrosity of steel, brick, mortar, etc., and you ain't furnished it yet to over $100 million? Those are questions that needs to be answered by this government, and Rowley flatly refused to do so, except to say that he sell barbecue and that members of his cabinet, etc., donated money whilst they were in government. Well, I could tell him that many of them would have not had to take their salary and still can't make that kind of money that monstrosity is costing.
Yes. Let's get a voice note there.
So, Mr. Barker, nobody from UNC, no UNC supporter hasn't died. You blasted dotish idiots.
Why would this nincompoop consistently conclude because he has a deficiency, and therefore that inferiority complex comes out when he has to, of course, try to impress someone. You don't have to make your case, and you don't and avoid, of course, the rest, so that people could accommodate you, because you are really getting ad nauseumly intolerant.
Oh. All right, let's get next voice note.
Good morning again, ground report. All you see how this government is lie to people. They come with local government reform for the last local election, saying that they're going to use all the property tax money for local government to govern to all the constituencies. Now we're hearing something else from Paris now that you got to work out a formula. What formula you going to work out? Fix formula 44 or maybe formula Paris? Because all the damn and all the people all the people like to get that local government election and to win it with that foolish talk. Yeah? Local government reform. That is a tiny kind of lie. Have a good day, fellas.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey. Good morning, Tobago. Andy, get this on. I want to get 3 tickets, right? I want to get 2 chicken and 1 veggie, right? This number that you're seeing on your system, please call me back so we can organize, so we can transact this business. Okay?
All right.
Right?
All right.
Okay then. Thank you. God bless.
Thanks for the support, man.
Andy, you see the first clip you play, that is one of those something rural distorted.
All right, so that's straight now.
Oh, the one with Alwari them. All right.
All right. Yeah, but listen, the thing about it too, gentlemen, and to the listening public, everybody locked on. Yeah, we have no money. I mean, we've been hearing that for the last how many years. We've had no money. Yet we know that they and their friends and their family and their finances, all right, all they gain whatever. All they believe is all they God given, right? Okay, all right, fine, okay. But you telling me if you're trying to cut back, if you're trying to make sure there's more money there to serve and deliver to the people of this country, why is $10 million for some machine at the EBC a priority? I mean, come on, man. You add 25 new patches onto the road program. So that means your main goal is to patch. You ain't coming to say there's some program that is actually going to pave and deal with the infrastructure. We're supposed to feel a sense of comfort knowing it had 25 patches out there, and in the budget, they're going to have 25 more. But what you want $10 million for? For the EBC? I am not going to let that go. I can't let that go. You can't be taking our money and taking that same money and turning it against us. Why are we paying for a dictatorship? We paying $10 million for you to stay there so we could suffer for the next 5 years? If you cutting back, if you say I have no money, if you say 2027, so you can't buy that hardware, if you're so sure you're going to be there in 2027, you can't hold on and buy that in the 2027 budget? You can't buy it then? Then you're going to have 3 years to test it out and put the thing in place. You're going to buy it now for the same 2025 election? You have no money. We are being told it have no money. Parents staying up late at night scratching their head. They don't know how they go make ends meet. Susie need this. Junior need that. Eh? I'm telling you, corned beef, you're trying to shit for 3 days. All you're getting is cabbage flavored corned beef. It have no corned beef there. The cabbage and the corned beef playing hide and seek. And you taking $10 million. Oh God, $10 million to go and buy a machine to set up a new election management system. All the systems you set up, it failed. All the committees, all the, what you call it, overview, whatever, all these things fail.
Yeah.
They fail. Now you're taking $10 million that we don't have, boy. $10 million after uncle and auntie stand up in a line, crawl up them stairs, waste all that time, and you get money from them to pay after they pay property tax, and you're going to take it to buy a machine to what? To steal the elections, to deprive us of our civil liberties, to deprive us of the whole democratic process. You can't be that wicked, man. You can't be that wicked. And what even makes it worse is that only just standing by, we as citizens, we the people, and that is it. It's $10 million for hardware. And you're so wicked. After you pre-program it, then you go try to say, Mama Guy people, we have invited regional and international observers. To do what? To watch you plug it in? To watch you plug it in? It's already programmed. You can't win. You know you can't win. If you bring Patterson back, the visually impaired former governor, he could see you can't win. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, you can't win. You just can't. You're too wicked. And you know you're wicked. So if thief, you're coming to thief. It's thief, you're coming to thief. And it costing us $10 million. Oh God, something got to be wrong, man. Something got to be wrong. I watched cartoons growing up. Oh God.
Caller.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Mikey. Mikey, don't cry, boy. Don't cry, Mikey. Don't stress your voice. Mikey, Trinidadian people stupid and sleeping, boy. Only forget when we had this machine they call the machine where you used to vote and they move it to ballot box. It's PNM where they do that, so they know what they have to do. I telling you, from the voting machine they move to ballot box. Let me tell you all something. You see that $2 where in both making CPEP and them workers feel he get them an increase? I want them to know light bill going up, water rate going up, land and building tax and rent going up. So that $2 all you're getting is $10 more you have to find. And here where it is, you see this cash flow thing we're in both looking to introduce. That this thing with the central bank we're owned by the Romanattis and them. Just now, next week, I want to call Andy, I call in Lennox, and I want Mighty and Lennox to clarify this for people in this country to understand. You see all who selling a little water and selling a little mango. When there's no cash flow thing coming, it's wherever money you have in your pocket when it's finished, it's in both and them telling you how you have to live after that, you know. And all is still going and looking to say, great, is the PNM for another 5 years? We're doing the decals on them. All you watch, all your PNM people like myself, who was a PNM, I was a PNM. It could never be a PNM other in both and Stuart Young and Fitzgerald Hines and them. And Rowley disappoint we. He disappoint we and we paying for the wickedness that's going against Manning. All you watch and all you will see, all who selling their little mango and selling their little egg to send the children to give them a little passage. When this cash thing stopped, where in both balling, he went filmer, he went in some country. Nobody know that man is going holiday. He went in some country and he see the whole country going with his without cash and it walking and we mustn't behind time. I wonder if he see the hospital in that country. I wonder if he see the road. I wonder if he see the development that we have in this country. And all we can spend $10 million on Muslims. God bless Trinidad. Everybody started going back to their house, you know. It was let American come back and call yourself. Because he call him thief and all he ain't no.
You cannot.
The thief and them boy.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Morning caller, short and sweet. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Grung Report, the #1 program this morning?
I respond to that just in Port Harcourt. Well, the gentleman in Port Harcourt. First to begin, I never say PNM people get killed or UNC people get killed. I say the murder toll heading to 700 and the citizens of this country expected to be safe and protected so that they could see us tomorrow under the government they voted, and that didn't happen for over nearly 5,000 of them 69 years, and the direction it's going, we might cross 700. That's what the school says. So, like no matter what you do, if once you tell them this is an apple, and then PNM mentality tell them guys are orange, guys are orange. No matter if you make apple pie, guys are orange pie for them. The mentality of these people. So you can't change them. That's the level of illiteracy that was bred into these people of Eric Williams days, and they're so and oppressed and vulnerable and dependent and abused that they cannot think on their own and make decisions on their own. Let me tell you about the government.
Did we lose him there? Did we lose him?
No, he's there. We hear him loud and clear.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I go to work. I go to pick up his support for back home. I planning to organize policy and way to send my children to school comfortable and all these things. You roads be good and things. Let me tell you something. I will be just like Potter Spain. I will support Rowley down to the last. But how much time you have to, what more, you have to understand that this government under the PNM and Rowley and them is not good for the country and the people. It's not good for Port of Spain. Port of Spain can come out the house when you see Green Jerusalem in capital city. You understand? Because some snake, Zanzi might bite him. The polio foot we have my rough now. The diabetes affect him more. So he had to stay inside and eat the 2 of bread that the last bit of pension he have could afford. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Take care.
Thank you very, very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's play some voice notes. Oh boy. Nice.
Don't forget, Andy, longest while I'm looking to talk about this election, the letter to the election and boundaries.
Yeah, you're going to get that in now. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, ground report. Morning, Andy. Good morning to all your callers.
Yes, a pleasant good morning to you. It's always nice hearing your voice. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, really? But I was just reflecting on how quickly our law enforcement people acted when the fake news of Emailgate broke, and how they lacked that type of ability to save the country in the face of all the other real issues where the country treasury is being raped every single day for any single reason. And it seems we don't have a DPP office, we don't have a David West in the Police Complaints Authority. He complaining about acts of violence against women, which I respect and which is actually very good, but he's not reporting on acts against the country and why the police is so inactive in that regard. I mean, I said Lennox, the crawl report, I hope that he had a look at it. And it is very, very, very telling. Now, the thing about it is that we must save this country, but in order to save this country, we have to hold the perpetrators, and we all know who they are. So I'm asking the callers, don't let the Gadaha from Port of Spain derail you and get you angry. Focus, as Mikey K says, this is a UNC program. This is UNC support. This is nothing else but that. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. But a Gadahar doesn't know where to go. So I thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very, very much.
Good morning, ground report. You know what is Kamala's Prasad Bissessa problem? Number one, she's put her trust in God. Number two, she's a very, very extraordinary, intelligent woman who knows a lot about education, administration, management, and all that. Number three, she's a very strong woman. And there are many men who have problems with a woman being in charge of anything. Many of them They have a complex, an inferiority complex, and they will always try to pull her down. But you can't do nothing to those who with God and who God bless. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Pitbull, they say Balize house has secret bedrooms with jacuzzi and water bed and beaded tanner. All them luxury things. Secret rooms in Balize house. Like P. Diddy mansions and them. That Balize house is like a P. Diddy mansion. Whoa. Baby oil and cream and all kind of thing over there. So you know there's how to use baby oil and head to rub down your foot and all kind of thing.
Whoa. So P, did you use a piano then? Well, look at that, take that. Yeah. You live and learn something, but go ahead.
Appeal to the PNM just like baby oil. Oh my God.
Me, I didn't know P Diddy was a piano. Go ahead. Take that.
Your P ain't easy. Let me play our voice, no day.
Morning, Andy. Lennox, Mikey K. Good program again, as usual. Andy, I think the pilot them should quit, as the man say, and don't fly no plane. Burn the government in the sense of no passengers coming in and out. Look at the port workers in America. They strike for 2 days and they settle already. You see how you do it? The whole entire port workers in America strike for 2 days and they get the business fixed. That's how you have to do it. Strike, shut down the country, show the people in the world how stupid the government is, and you will see how fast they get the business. Trinidadian, no belly, all the yellow belly, I keep telling all of that. Only one thing that will get done is government walking over all your head. The whole entire port in America, every port shut down. What happened? Negotiating, they get what they want, and they were going to get what, and I agree. Shut down. The pilots don't fly no plane, make sure no plane coming in here. You'll see how fast they will get the way they want. So Trinidadians, all the yellow bellies need to go out there, the thousands and thousands, and you see how fast. The government, remember, you are the government, not the government. The government will work for you. You know, tell them do what you want them to do. I'm getting it right. Talk to you later, Andy. Andy, good morning. For the Spain, suffer from diabetes cocomalitis. That's what he suffer from. He have a complex. He suffer from diabetes cocomalitis. Tell him go and look up what is that, and he will find out what is the meaning of that. Boy, when you talking, boy, talk properly now. You're making Trinidadians sound like a fool who overseas listen to the Pong report. You make him feel like Trinidadians don't have no education. Brother, stop talking, you're clownish. You're sounding like a clown and a monkey. Don't do that. We're making Trinidadians look like we are very educated up here and have good jobs. Stop being an nincompoop later.
Andy, remember PNM bring these people from all these small islands to win the election and give them farm, and they sell the farm on them and buy maxi taxi.
But Mr. Barker, every time rain fall along Central, it flood. Every time. And the people year after year, election after election, keep going and vote back UNC who don't care. The UNC don't care. But all keep voting for them. So why? All of the rights to choose and support all they want. But the PNM people must not vote PNM because the constant. That is fair. All let's talk about democracy. We have the rights to support anybody can call me Balize, Jews or whatever. Miss Lady, you're going wrong. Kamala knows how she can be very strong. Eh? Yet, you don't see the complaint. Oh, she allowed. We have the same way. It had the idiot from, I think, in Lakota, who she.
We will take calls just now, you all. Just now. We just playing some voice notes. So let's see voice notes mark on the screen there. Just now, we will take some calls. We were taking calls just
Miss Lady, you're going wrong. Kamala knows how she can be very strong. Eh? Yet, you don't see the complaint. Oh, she allowed people around. She.
That means your contribution is not a finish go through partner. Let me take some calls there. Oh boy, and I want my partner there because we are barbecue to buy, you know. Mr. Ramnarine, a pleasant morning to you, my brother. Watch how we see we taking your calls. How we go take Mr. Ramnarine calls? Go ahead, Mr. Ramnarine. Look at
good morning.
Look at put a space for you and all. Yeah, put a space and go.
Good morning, Mike. You know what they say? The pilots in Trinidad have a protest. I read what they're asking for the 4%, and they don't give them it. Here in Canada, on the verge of strike, Air Canada gave the pilots 42% increase in salary for a 4-year period. Imagine that. Right now, WestJet negotiating, and they will get what they want. Port workers went on strike for 3 days here, and they get what they want. Only Trinidad, people don't have the belly to stand up for their rights. Because they're afraid of Imbat and they're afraid of Rowley. You see? Unless people don't stand up and fight for what they want, they wouldn't get it. You know? Let's have people's life in hand. These big boys in Caribbean Airlines don't care. Because they're drawing a big fat salary every month, every year. You know what a pilot working for in Canada here? I was going through the salary. The least is $175,000 a year. Understand? Captains make like $350,000 a year. You see? So, when they talk about things, only pilots international strike. Don't fly a plane. Let it close the airline down. Okay, you know why? Right now, they're dominating the scene because they have no other airline flying to Trinidad from Canada. They don't only give Air Canada airspace, and they only give WestJet airspace. And they're dominating the scene, they're making money. Because every flight that leaves Canada, it goes to Trinidad full. You leave Trinidad, it comes to Canada full. So they can't say they're not making money. You see? Another thing, this guy, Paul Spain, he has nothing else better to do for his life than to call every minute and make all kind of nasty stuff. He's one of Rowley Africa. Anyway, I'm there with that to say.
All right. And only I wouldn't know when Port Spain as the PNM just give him different phone numbers. He doesn't know. It's different phone, different numbers, different SIMs. Messages come on. The man like a disease, as the man says. So just ignore he. Right? Just ignore he. Morning caller.
Morning again, gentlemen. I have to carry on this conversation because I realize for a bit, little bankrupt for knowledge, for intellectual capacity, look like it diffuse flow, some kind of thing. So let me give my knowledge to carry on a little history on memory lane. 90% of the resources and the revenue that come out from the Paracore area depends on water. The rice, well, before a lot of people used to plant rice down there and things. Behind everybody house had a, we used to call it a cola, a little lagoon, where we got plant rice, have a big rice box, you reap the rice, you put it, watermelon, cane, the cascadoo and all this kind of thing.
Yes, talk, let him know.
We never get dependent on that. They just plant rice in Port Spain, when you're going on Rice Hill Road, where the cascadoo them living over there, that they depend on the flood to come and reap it over there. So we benefit from the flood. We evolve now where when you drive down the stretch, 20 years ago, as soon as rain falls, that whole road full up. Drive down there now. It's only massive buildings, business, both sides of the road. Same lagoon, now it's converted into waterways. And it has a booming private sector industry growing up down there. But as soon as my commander walked the total full tire and thing down there, it's in trouble. We're in trouble. You understand? So don't tell me now that we evolve in Baraka. We used the benefit from the flood. We wanted the flood. We wanted the rain because that is how we have our economical prosperity going on. And like 20 years, and we evolve and we dealing with our flood now. When it is like extreme weather, we will get some flooding and things, but everybody comfortable down here. Now, a place that was dry, that didn't have no right, didn't looking for cascade, now flooding out. And so, while we evolve and we better, all it is all and all the become good, contact your Prime Minister. So, get it in your head. Don't feel like no old Baraka have flooding and all kind of thing and it's so bad.
Anyway, the mining cascade there now in Port of Spain. Because what the as a little rain, the whole of Port of Spain flood, it had rice growing there now. It had all it needed water for, and Port of Spain didn't need it. It had all of that now in Port of Spain.
You don't realize now, over flooding and under this PNM, you contribute flood out and only the dam that we did what water for, the reservoir empty. And that's Marva Gonzalez vision for water for all in this country. Just imagine the whole country flooding. And we build the dam on San Fernando Hill, we dam on top of the northern rain. That's the only place to get water. That's can iterate to thickness for the PNM is accept from that government that is in. So I hope you learn a little thing for the Spain. I hope you understand a little bit of that history. Because I know all the problems that's going to come out from your ATC apartment and go in the car park to for people to park and go back. Have a good morning. Take care.
Yes. I know guys history there too. Plenty where we learn from that history there. Back then they wanted the rain because it used to have cascade do the selling and the eating that and the organize and the planting the rice and the filling up the rice. And then it may have somewhere they could go now to carry two bucket of rice and get paid for rice. You know, oh my God, history. And now today, Port of Spain who never had rice field, never this, never that. As the rain, achoo, knees. Water all by your knee, all over your knee and thing.
Well, Andy, what do you expect? Recently, about 3 years ago, an irrigation channel was constructed just on South Key there, leading to an outlet into the sea south of the lighthouse. But they installed a pump there too. Sometime afterwards, when a flood came, in spite of that development, to alleviate flooding there, the minister turned and said, "The thief out the pump." The thief out. So he didn't know to put a security there because of the community of sealants that is in close proximity, and therefore people will of course attack. He didn't know that. But even I don't know if they have found the pump or they installed a pump. But what is happening is that we have an increasing flood now, instead of course the alleviation of flood in Port of Spain around that particular area, South Key. So again, it demonstrates how myopic and how ineffective and how poor planning. But money was spent. Another possibly slush fund venture.
So true.
Mr. Barako, let me tell you something here. I am retired and my pension is far more than what 3/4 of them UNC dance that calling the radio is earning. You know what I'm telling you?
Nice. That's how we had to answer back. Man, you talk about the flooding. You had to answer back in that way. Answer back. What going on?
Well, he has to confirm whether or not he is a car park technician then. if it's so, because from
Andy,
there's no need for him to be a car park technician at this stage of his life.
We have anyone on before we wrap up, because we have to wrap up.
Let me just state what the document is all about, because whole week I'm promising people that I'll talk about our.
All right. Listen, I've got to step out. Lennox, you do your thing,
yes,
and you guys stay safe and have a good weekend. And don't forget the tickets.
Yes.
Yeah, don't forget the tickets, please. Don't forget the tickets, folks. Just WhatsApp, please, 366-3053, 337-6940, and 494-0938. We have your tickets. We want to make sure and have everything in by Tuesday for the latest, because it is next week, Friday. It's the Patriot meal. We have a barbecue, chicken, and a veggie queue as well. So those of you who are fasting and so forth, please get in touch with us. It is your program. It is your voice for the people, by the people, and most importantly, with the people. You, the true patriot. And those of you Wall Street, those of you on the outside, whoever, and you know you can't be here to eat it, please show your support. Buy 200, 300 lunches, and let's get it out to the people. All right? So we're breaking bread next week, Friday, as one, all comrades, brothers and sisters, and true patriots. Gentlemen, until then, we will talk.
Yes,
nice, that's Mikey. So, but you are still on. Lennox Smith, you had a document to read, my brother.
I'll elaborate next week, and of course on Saturday on the corridor. But just to say that, as people might know, and if you don't, well, you know now that I also have a political party called Laventil Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, dedicated to the Laventils, and as a consequence of what has transpired over the last 9 years under this government, I thought it was important to write the EBC at this stage, election impending. And my letter goes as follows, so you will get a gist. I'll just read the subject matter and maybe 2 lines, and then I'll leave it for next week. Well, the 1st of October, of course, it was delivered already. The chairman of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, of course, addressed to Scott House, in Port of Spain. Subject: request for information pursuant of the Freedom of Information Act 1999, Section 13. The circumstances and or information with supporting documentation that led to the decision to engage, deploy, or otherwise contracted the private company Grand Bay Limited to dispose of, for recycling, electoral paper-based material documents. And then, of course, the questions for answer by them include, and there's a description, of course, and you have to put it in a particular format. Copy of minutes and any relevant documentation in relation to the EBC's decision to contract the Grand Bay Company to dispose of EBC paper-based and or other category of material that formed part of the items that comprise the material for recycling by the said Grand Bay Company Limited under contract. And the second one, of course, is, it has a A, B, and C. Did the EBC, I'm asking EBC to answer these questions under the Freedom of Information Act, of course. Did the EBC employ Grand Bay Limited prior to the contract referred to in clause 1? So I'm asking whether or not they did business with Grand Bay before. Because it's after the 2020 elections, Grand Bay was hired by the EBC to dispose ostensibly for recycling, among them electoral material, from what we know and from our investigation, including material from the 2020 general elections. And B, if yes, state the dates of execution or executions and purpose or purposes of these or any such contracts. C, was Grand Bay Limited a sole contract engaged, or was there a bidding process? D, if yes, to The former, that is to say, C, state reasons. If yes to the latter, that is C, indicate the other bidders and their respective requests for proposal sums submitted. Yeah, I want to know. As political leader, of course, of love. And of course, we have a third section. A, was or is EBC aware that Grand Bay was provided with financial support from the government of Trinidad and Tobago in 2016 as announced by the current finance minister in the form of a loan guarantee of US $5 million, ostensibly to save the jobs of 400 employees at the company. We want to know if they knew that. And B, if yes, to A, did the EBC in its deliberations or deliberation to contract Grand Bay Limited for the purposes as stated in 2 above, considered possible conflict of interest or any law and or possible infringement thereof, including the Integrity in Public Act, in Public Life Act, yes, the fiduciary responsibility for transparency and the accountability for public funds allocated to EBC in pursuant with contracting Grand Bay Limited for the task as outlined in the contract. C, when was the contract in question executed by Grand Bay Limited? Executed to the satisfaction of the EBC, and when and by what means payment was made. There's a fourth part for which elections the paper documents and or material, if any, were considered. B, was paper document and or any other material from the 2020 general elections formed part of the items identified for disposal for recycling by EBC pursuant of the contract in question. C, what specific electoral and or administrative paper documents and or other materials were identified for disposal or recycling subject to the terms of the contract in question. Size, in other words, size in kilogram and former use of other and former use thereof, etc. There's a fifth part. A, if paper documents and or other materials from the 2020 general elections were part of the recycling contract with Grand Bay Limited, state what specific material were so designated. B, what is the typical or usual time frame for by statutory or tradition or convention such items that were identified for disposal are kept by EBC before a disposal decision is taken. C, if A is in the affirmative, what were the circumstances and or considerations deployed which would have given rise for items from the 2020 general elections be disposed of consistent with the contractual arrangements with Grand Bay Limited. D, if paper items and or materials were included from the 2020 general elections, whether polling cards and used ballot papers were part of the said material and or items that formed part of the materials that were disposed of via the contract with Grand Bay Limited. And finally, 6, was any consideration given, and this is my party asking that question, was any consideration given to reimburse small political parties and independent candidates of the deposits they would have lodged with the EBC in relation to the judicially confirmed decision of the appeal court in the elections petitions pursued by the UNC, which indicated, among other things, that the EBC had no authority, legal or otherwise, to extend the voting time by 1 hour in the 2015 general elections. And of course, coming from me, and of course, name of authority according to the form Elections and Boundaries Commission, name Lennox Smith, political leader of Love, and of course the address would be 55 George Street, Port of Spain, Lennox Smith, political leader. And of course, this was directed to the chairman of the EBC and was copied subsequently to the chief elections officer, Ms. Nasser Scope, or to have within a month, of course, according to the law, they must respond to me, or barring that, explain why they are unable so to do. And then, of course, we take the next stage if we have to go to the ombudsman or file for judicial review, depending on the response that would have been given. So, yes, people, Grand Bay was a company that was given $5 million in the almost, I think it's the first budget of this government in 2016. $5 million US, whilst of course other companies such as ArcelorMittal was allowed to close down because of the same problem of cash flow not being had to keep their doors open, but they packed up and left. But Grand Bay was given, and suddenly this Grand Bay organization was deployed by the EBC after the 2020 general elections to ostensibly to dispose of electoral material, inclusive of electoral material from the 2020 general elections. We have pictures and so on of bales and all of that, and information in the public domain recorded in the newspaper and elsewhere as to who discovered ballot papers, etc., inclusive some from the 2020 general elections on its way out of the country, clearly for recycling purposes. We need to know, and this is all part of an effort to make the EBC understand. Not only do we know, not only we are prepared, of course, to make an intervention, but we will. Once I get this information, I will be, and I've already, of course, sent this a copy of this to various international organizations to which EBC is associated as a member, to let them know, apart from this, other developments as far as EBC is concerned, inclusive, of course, what transpired in the local government elections and their role in Tobago in dividing up, of course, Tobago further in order to pursue the agenda of the Rowley administration. That is where we are going, people. So don't believe that we do not have ammunition to make sure that there is a free and fair and free from fear elections in Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, of course, that is what I wanted to speak of, but of course next week we will go in a little more detail, but that has already been sent off to the EBC for a response, sincere response, truthful response, consequential of the Freedom of Information Act. Andy.
Whoa, boy. So Trinidad and Tobago, time check. It's about 10 minutes to the above 10 o'clock. So don't forget, from next week is when we will be going from till 10, because we will be on Galda channel from 8 a.m. to 10. But yes, we start every morning at 6 a.m. So here it is. Remember, it's who are to go parliament. It will have a lot of things to do. Maybe our pagos after Lennox maybe come back from Parliament Day, we have pagos, this, that, and then doing all the necessary work he does do within his area, helping people. Whether it be to form a company or whether it be to understand their social benefits, where people, it have people that just don't know certain things. And he always does a good job in really and truly assisting people. So Sorry about that. Let me leave something for Monday morning, please, God. After God, family comes first. Be safe on the nation's roads. Until Monday morning, please, God. Yours truly, the Pitbull of Radio, on behalf of the Ground Report team, we are out of here.
Forget all your worries, whatever happened before, yeah. Whatever stress or problems you have, leave it by the door. Leave it by the door and come inside. Let me just bet. Be betting with no worries.
Yes, people, of course, we have come to the end of the coverage of the Ground Report for Friday and therefore the end of the week for the Ground Report. But of course, we see each other back again on Saturday. Well, you heard, of course, the contents of that Freedom of Information request to the EBC. I'm sure that you are anxious to make a comment and to find out what the result is. Of course, in the fullness of time, that will happen. We are in an election mood, and as I said, all stops will be removed in order to make certain that we have a free and fair election in this country and that the EBC does not play the fool by, of course, engaging in some kind of bias agenda to, of course, sustain and to keep the Rowley administration and therefore the PNM in government. Have a wonderful rest of the day. God bless. And, of course, yes, I'll be off to Spargos tonight. Enjoy.
Carnival and I'm ready for bacchanal. People call me a feta cause I love to jump to my soca. Forget all your problems. You see when I come out to fit, oh gosh, it's not me to blame. The music does make me sweat. Walking up and have no shame now. People could say what they say. Right now it don't really matter when the bacchanal come out of me. It's because I'm ready. Tonight, let me just bet. Be betting with no worries, just jump up on somebody, yeah. Let me just bet. We betting till morning come, tipsy when we drink, we rum, yeah. I say this is carnival, and I'm ready for bacchanal. People call me a feta cause I love to jump to my soca. Forget all your worries, whatever happened before, yeah. Whatever stress or problems you have, leave it by the door. And come inside. Let me just bet. We betting with no worries, just jump up on somebody, yeah. Let me just bet. We betting till morning come, tipsy when we drink, we rum, yeah. I say this is carnival, and I'm ready for bacchanal. People call me a feta cause I love to jump to my soca.
friends and family. So the whole of the country want you now to stop lying. Cause the next election is a new party we voting. Like you forget your people once you in power and you moving evil, you had the whole place sour. And now that we discover is 2% that they offer. This is one little thing that I want all you to remember. We fed up for all your life.